What's good, man? But I'm going glasses. What's good, man? But I'm going glasses. So yeah, this is like I made a poll on my channel to do like a little stream where we just binge watch streams and we just chat. If you guys want to join, you guys can. I'm gonna be on Discord if you guys want to talk and whatnot. Let me see. What's good, man? Yep. If it gets too if there's too many people in there though, I might have to restrict it and whatnot because. But let's get started. Actually, hold up. What stream do you guys want to watch first? I should ask you guys that. Like, we can go all the way back from like the beginning. You know what I mean? But if you guys want to watch like a certain stream, just let me know and whatnot. You got to get back to school. Your schoolwork. Okay. Got bored of BO4 in a week. I feel you. So you're confused? So what we're doing is like we're doing like I'm just binge watching, right? Old dream streams, you know, until we get to like the beta or whatnot. And I want to do it like I want to watch and just chat with you guys as well. And if you guys want to join me in the Discord, then you can. It's up to you guys though. But what in the world is going on here? There you go. So you want to go in chronological order? So from the beginning, are you sure? You want to go all the way from the beginning of dreams? Let's see. Do you even have that? Um, I guess it would be this one. Or this one.
Online.
Hello,
everybody. Can you hear us?
But this one isn't really any gameplay. This is like them talking about it.
I can't see the chat, so. Oh no, we can't see the chat. Okay, well, we're just gonna carry on, assuming you can hear us. And if you can't hear us, we'll find out in a minute, and then we'll.
Might be gameplay. I kind of want to have gameplay. I don't want to have them talking and me talking. It's like it's gonna be annoying. How do you get the beta? So you have to sign up for the beta. There's no sign up link or anything yet, but we will get some news like next month or something. The 2-minute video start from something a little recent. So hold on. I want you guys to put in the comment section if you guys want to watch a video that's recent, like a dreams video that's recent, or you want to go from the beginning. I can understand both reasons, to be honest. At the beginning, no offense to like, you know, Media Molecule and that, but Dreams looks way better recently. But at the same time, it's kind of dope to see like how much it's changed. You know what I'm saying? Because it's changed a lot. Like Dreams changed a lot. Building cities. Oh man, one of my favorite dreams. Oh, I feel you, Starks. I feel you. Building cities. I guess we can start from there. Now. So audio's a bit loud. You want me to turn it down? Just put Kareem on loop. Oh man, that made Kareem. Whoa, what was that?
It's another guy in a voice chat.
Oh, bro, you scared me, bro. I'm over here like, where did that come from, man? I forgot you guys to join the voice channel.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all good, man. What's good?
We wanted to do
doing well.
We've been showing a lot of dreams, sketchiness, speed, and how much it looks like concept art. Today is a bit about modules and cities and architecture. How to make
I still don't know who this
a successful space,
down on the
a
left.
whole city.
If you guys know who he is, let me know.
This neat idea
Oh no, you're literally in the public voice chat. Voice channel.
Yeah, I know.
That you design.
Yeah, it's just TO_72.
So I got inspired by we have this rock that Francis made ages ago. Yeah. It's this rock and it has a bunch of different facets on it.
Yeah.
And it turns out that rock works really well as like a rock, but also works really well as a mountain, and it works really well as like a ground piece.
So they're gonna post a sign up thing on the Twitter, I'm guessing. No one knows. Maybe newsletter, maybe Twitter. No one knows yet. But I would assume Twitter. I feel like that's.
What that means is
that's
that you
what
have
they
to be
would
creative about
post
how you
it.
use the pieces. And the piece itself can be quite simple and basic.
Look how much
so
the UI changed. Yeah, it's changed a lot. Even from here, this is 2017 as well, or 2016.
We have the grid on.
Yeah, so we've got the the grid tool, which is nice because it doesn't get in your way. So it doesn't. You don't have to configure grid sizes and stuff. All of that. It just lines things up for you.
Yeah.
And that lets you be a bit more freeform on how you kind of make your actual modules.
Okay.
And what I noticed is that depending on the kind of modules you get a very different look. So at the start of the stream, we thought we were just gonna do one city.
Gundam.
But after we did a few modules, Kareem kind of encouraged me that maybe we should do
two cities. Basically, Anton.
Let me know if the audio is good. Is my voice too loud? Is the stream too loud? Is it perfect? Let me know.
Primitives, cutting and adding cylinders and squares and cubes.
Is it confirmed closed beta? It's not considered a closed beta. This said it was like anyone could sign up. So that sounds like an open beta for me.
Our color tumbling feature, and that just gives a nice sort of variety of tones on the piece, and using different sizes and scales of that piece, you will.
Hey, don't be nervous. You guys can join me like in Discord, like.
So. Let's see. What do you think?
I like it. I think.
You like this one? More cut?
No, I like it. I think.
Just leave it at that.
I think leave it at that.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we can get. So, at the start, we always kind of want to start with a bit of ground.
Yeah.
So this piece doesn't look anything like ground.
Yeah.
But actually, if you.
So how you guys doing, man? How's your day?
We have a flat side.
Been so far.
So let's.
Depending where you're at.
So we'll grab our clone tool, and we'll just make some ground. Wow. And this makes the engine people cry because basically we've got a bunch of buildings used as ground. But this is cool. So one thing immediately you notice is that you don't get a flat piece of ground, you get these things as well, because that's the way the module is.
Yeah.
And at first, the first reaction is like, oh, I want a flat piece of ground.
Yeah.
But actually, if you embrace it, these things become the seed for the next
You might do
piece.
audio some point. Yeah. Alright, that's what's up.
And then you also get things like these tunnels, and these kind of accidents inspire you to make the next module.
Yeah. So kind of like almost one of the principles of architecture and 3D spaces is
the hope you hope beta release on the weekend. I will not sleep.
And
on the
just
weekend.
Like you kind of go as soon as I saw the.
It might release on the weekday, to be honest, because they don't work on the weekends, so I can't really see them uploading
or
posting links on the weekend.
So let's do a little bit of flipping action. And remember, you can grab and paste and copy any piece. So now I can kind of select this. I can group that whole object. And
Discord? Yeah, if you guys want to talk, you guys can join the Discord.
Star.
That's the reason why I'm even doing this stream, so I can talk with you guys or whatnot. If you have like
you said.
if you have any questions or something, or you just want to talk,
And the way the grid works is if something doesn't
yeah, you
quite
can just
line
join the
up, you
Discord. I have the link in the description.
The grid accommodates for that, so then you just
Yeah, if enough people enjoy this, I might do this until the beta comes and drops or whatnot.
maybe there's an
And when you make like the big, I like the side with the cut. You can make like your building. You start making your
Stream is a bit loud.
Yeah,
Alright,
one tricky thing is this module, we can't
nah.
quite get a pathway, so we might
go building.
Yeah, I think we might just have the
Hello?
problem with the
When you intersect,
What's up, man?
And when you intersect those pieces together, you get the coolest of shapes as well. When you sort of take the one piece and
Oh, your mic is a bit low. Can't really hear
yeah.
you.
So what we'll do is we'll actually turn
I don't know if there's any way I can
the
maybe
path.
if I put myself in
into like
here.
promenade, and then we'll grab this guy and we'll use that as the
Edit that.
floor. And that's
My
kind of
first time
cool. And you get
actually
this.
using
I like
it.
the bit coming out. Of
Oh, okay, yeah, I feel you. Discord is pretty confusing at first when you use it.
Now the module, this particular module is quite like
Your Discord disappeared from me?
you know, by design. The cool thing is
No, I'm just reading chat. Really? Hold on, let me check this.
any scale.
Discord be tripping. Sometimes people say that
Block out the entire
it doesn't work or whatever.
very
So
rapidly.
let's see if it works for me.
Like all of Dreams, it's kind of hinting at the shape of the city.
Yeah.
And then once you have that, then you go in and you start decorating it.
Hello,
and sort of
virtual evade.
repeating.
What's up,
and
dude?
making.
Whoa, that's not the real one, is it? Nah, it can't be.
Yeah, it is.
Yo, what? Hold on. I'm trying to make sure I don't fanboy. Bro, I've been watching your videos for like ever. What?
Dude, I've been watching your videos since you've been the #1 source of like updated news of Dreams. So I've been waiting Dreams since day one, bro.
Dang, that's crazy, yo. My day has been made. Wow, that's dope. Can you do one of your voice impressions, like the African one?
Yeah. It means our bullets will pierce their brain like butter.
Yo, what?
Looks like a doorway. Okay, I'll use it as a doorway.
Oh man, that's dope, yo. That's really dope.
I appreciate it, dude.
I see the curve as well.
Yeah, man. I've been
Yeah, so then you
like,
can just do that.
how long has it been since Dream was like initially announced? It's like 6 years, 5 years, something like that.
Yeah, I think 5 to 6 years. I know it got announced around like 2015.
Yeah,
something like that.
It's been forever. And like, I was such a Little Big Planet fan. I started since Little Big Planet 1 beta, and I started making stuff. So, and I think anyone, you and anyone that's subscribed to your channel, we're all the same when it comes to how much we enjoy making stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like ever since the last Little Big Planet, I've just been waiting for this, and it just feels like it can't come any sooner.
Right. Like when I heard about Dreams, I was like, I didn't believe it was true because all I wanted for Little Planet was the fact for it to be 3D. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But this one is like, it's way better. It's so ambitious. I'm surprised that really no one is talking about it. But I can understand. It's been in development for like so long and people forgot about it.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, they don't do a really good job at marketing their game. And I feel like that's something that Media Molecule's always really been really bad at.
Yeah, I've said that in my videos. Like the marketing, I don't know if I could blame Media Molecule or Sony because it's a first party game, but like Sony hasn't released any video whatsoever explaining what Dreams was or is.
Right.
It's just like, what? I had to do my own research because someone at E3 was talking about it.
Right.
And, like it's crazy.
Yeah. I remember back in the day, back before, or like from the early Little Big Planets, I remember Little Big Planet 3 was rumored to be called Little Big Planet 3D. That's what everybody thought it was going to be.
Right.
And then when it came out and it wasn't, everyone was bummed. And then once Dreams was announced, nobody was interested because it wasn't called Little Big Planet. You know what I mean? I think it's still kind of like that right now.
Exactly.
I feel like people don't know what the hell Dreams is. A lot of people don't know it's made by the same makers. So they have this thing called Dreams and they have no idea what it is. And I remember early on, when they announced Dreams, they didn't really announce it as. I mean, I know they've changed a lot since they announced it. So maybe at the time it wasn't that, but I think back then there wasn't any logic. You know what I mean? The same logic that they have on Little Big Planet.
Right.
It was just like short little. That's why they called it Dreams. It was like short, 10 to 30-second little clips that you watch or maybe play. So I think it's changed a lot since then, and because of that, no one really knows about it.
Right. I'm surprised they still haven't used the marketing from the makers of Little Planet anywhere. Because that's the only thing that got me going. That's the only reason I did research on this, because I was like, oh, this is Media Molecule. I thought it was some random, because I wouldn't really trust anyone with this kind of game because it's so ambitious. But Media Molecule I trust, because they've been doing this kind of stuff with Little Planet. It's the same thing, but more. It's a lot deeper. So like, and they listen to the community and all that. I feel like that's the crucial thing when it comes to Dreams. They have to listen. If not, the game's not really gonna succeed. So when I heard about when I heard they were making it, I was looking at all kinds of videos for it. And at first I was like, I don't know, because I looked at it and I was like, this is not something that I'm interested in. But then I realized that every game that was shown was in Dreams, and I was so confused. I was like, what? Because none of the games looked alike whatsoever. And that's not something you can say in any. There's no other game that I've seen where it changes like that. So that alone got me sold, and they've been releasing all kinds of detail like PSVR. It's gonna have online support. You can join people levels without them being like, all this kind of little detail just blew me away. I was just like, bro, what? My life has changed.
I know.
Not with the repeated one, with the simple piece.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, it's not even a game anymore. It's a game engine, right?
Yeah.
And Media Molecule is doing something that no one's ever done, which is mainstreaming a game engine. Because game engines were exclusive. Like, no one could pick up Unreal Engine and make something on it. You know what I mean? Unless you know what you're doing.
Right.
But Dreams is gonna be something different. It's almost like you know, before YouTube existed, how like if you wanted to like make if you wanted to be famous, you had to go through either recording the recording industry, or you have to go through the movie industry. That's the only way you could make a movie or a song that people will listen to.
Right.
But then once like SoundCloud started coming out, or like YouTube started coming out, then it became mainstream. It mainstreamed that media like consumption, whether it's video or music.
Right.
I feel like this is the first example we're getting of game development becoming mainstream, where some dude in his basement can make a game that's better than like a whole studio. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's why when Mark Healy used the analogy, that was like, or not analogy, I don't know what you say, but like he was saying that Dreams is like the YouTube. It's just like YouTube basically, because you upload shit, you don't have to play, you don't have to upload to enjoy it. And like there people always say, well, just a game engine, but that's not the thing though. It's the fact that it's a game engine with a platform and you can share it. That's what makes it so dope, because you can go ahead and like make music, or just do art, you know, do like a Bob Ross kind of stream, or you can just go ahead and make some crazy kind of like maybe weapons, robots, or anything crazy, and then just share that and have people enjoy that. It could be like a sandbox, it can be like a first person, it can be anything. It's literally YouTube within YouTube. It's insane that they allow us to do something like that, and it's just like, bro, what? This is something that I needed. I didn't even know I needed. You know what I mean? It's like, what?
I think a lot of people are still like that they don't understand the game, but if they gave it a chance, they'd be like, I never knew I needed this.
Right. That's why I believe the beta is going to be a really good selling point, or maybe when the game drops, because it's so hard to explain it, bro. Every time my friends like, what is this? I'm like, bro, I don't know how to explain it. You just got to watch multiple videos to understand what it is, man.
Same here. Yeah, every time people ask me about it, I'm like, bro, like you could, like the only way I could pique their interest is like, yo, bro, you could like remake like part of what's it called, Fortnite. Like you can't make the whole thing, but like you could make like Tilted Towers area, like you could remake that.
Right.
I'm like, no, you can't. I'm like, nah, dude, I swear. And I feel like until somebody does it and it goes viral on the internet, people won't be interested.
Because that's what happened. I mean, they remade Little Big Planet. That video had like 100,000 something views, and people were just, they were like, no way, this is not what I thought this game was. They were just blown from just that. And that was made by one person. One person. And he just made that in his spare time.
Right.
So it's like, bro, if they get excited for that, I'm not even worried for like Dreams succeeding, because I know 100% when they have like teams working on just a couple levels trying to make crazy stuff, and they post it out there and get on like Reddit, Facebook, YouTube, all that, and it goes viral, it's a done deal. Like Dreams is gonna be talked about everywhere. I can see IGN saying, bro, guess what people in Dreams made, bro? Like guess what they made in Dreams, or remade, or did this and did that.
That's true. Yeah, I think a lot of the popularity is gonna come after. It's like the game launches, it's not gonna do so well.
Right.
And then once people start noticing all these remade games and these big titles that people have made on it, I think that's where it'll start getting popular. But I got a question for you. So like you probably didn't suspect that like you'd start getting this much traction. Just
I didn't expect that at all. I was actually uploading Fortnite videos. I was just so over Fortnite, bro. I just got tired of it, and then I was just all I did was talk about dreams in my Fortnite streams and my other channels. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just go ahead and upload it, even if it doesn't do well. I don't care. I like this. I have a passion, and I was uploading videos. I'm like, I'm already getting more views than Fortnite, and I kept doing it, and to a point where it was just getting like a lot of traction. I was like, what? That's dope, because I actually enjoy doing this more than anything I've ever done on YouTube and whatnot. So
well, that's a good sign. But you know, the issue is what's gonna happen, or what might happen, is like like you're dedicating yourself to dreams this much, right? Like you've known about dreams day one when they announced it.
Right.
There's gonna be some YouTuber out there that's never heard of it.
Yeah.
It's gonna come out. He's gonna be like, this sounds interesting. He's gonna like it. He's gonna turn his channel into it, and then he's gonna become the central channel for dreams. Even though you've known about it since day one.
Right.
That's the type of stuff that happens on YouTube. So I foreshadowed that happening, and it sucks to think that might happen.
Yeah, I mean, even if it happens, it is what it is. I'm still gonna upload it because I just love it so much. I don't want to upload any videos or anything else besides dreams. So yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Right. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter as long as the game's out. I'm sure most of us will be happy, right?
Right.
So, have you made stuff in Little Big Planet? Like, were you an active creator or just an active player?
I was a player, but what I used to do was I used to like make sack boards, have like different kind of things, because I was always fond of people making different sack boards and having like crazy abilities and stuff. I was like, that's dope,
right?
So I was trying to get into that, and I had one friend I believe honestly is probably the best sack board maker. Like he makes the actual replica of like Dragon Ball Z Goku and all that, Go Super Saiyan, all that. It was like so dope. So he really got me into that. But then Little Planet 3 came out at PS4, and that just kind of was I don't even want to go into that. Little Planet 3 is that was a failure. But
did you ever get Little Big Planet karting?
No, I didn't get that.
I didn't get that either. That was the one game I didn't get. But
yeah,
it was 3D, so I was
like,
tempted.
yo, bro, it threw me out because I saw a trailer and it's 3D. I'm over here like, let's go, and then like karting. I'm like, wait, what is this? I was, this is clickbait. I was just, yeah, man. It's like what? But hey, it was worth it though because we got dreams now. So
true. I'm torn, and part of me really wants Media Molecule to succeed with this game, right? Because I mean, why wouldn't we? We love them and they deserve it. But the selfish side of me is like I'm gonna hate all these people that are jumping on this game.
Oh yeah, just for bandwagon.
Just for bandwagon, yeah. Like all these people bandwagoning Fortnite,
right?
You know what I mean? Like I'm not looking forward to all these YouTubers bandwagoning this game for views and while the rest of us here in this chat and everyone that's live streaming, watching your stream, we've been here since day one,
right?
And we're gonna get engulfed by all these bandwagoners if it does come like that, which is a bummer, but there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it could be a good and bad thing. The good thing is that because I really want this game to succeed. That's just like because it deserves to succeed like beyond anything that I've really seen. I know it can't be as big as Fortnite because Fortnite is free and it's on all platforms, but the fact that this game is doing something that's just like so different than any other game, I just want it to succeed. You know what I'm saying? But I can understand what you're saying. Is like all these people just gonna bandwagon and just clickbait like every little thing. And it's just gonna be like kind of toxic, but hopefully it's the same thing how it was Little Planet. Little Planet actually wasn't too bad at all.
It wasn't.
Yeah, it was actually like there was nobody that I could think of that was really.
YouTube wasn't big back then.
Yeah, that's also true.
YouTube wasn't what it is like social media and video streaming and video uploading was not the way it is today. Now people don't bandwagon today because they like something. They bandwagon because it makes them money and gets them views.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm worried about. I don't mind people playing it because they enjoy it. I mind people playing it because it's going to make them money and talk about it because it's going to make them turn into a money thing, you know?
Yeah,
that's what I'm not looking forward to, but there's nothing you can do about that, you know?
Yeah. I'm actually excited to see what you do with dreams because you have like this voice impression thing. I like watching you Azers. Bro, yeah, I love watching you both. So I can imagine like the kind of content you guys could do with dreams.
Well, actually, what I'm planning to do is make like an animated series and have my impressions and Azer's impressions in the show. So we're gonna do like a Family Guy, Rick and Morty type animated series,
right?
And use our impressions. So that's what we're planning on doing. Hopefully, we can get it on like who knows? I don't know what the licensing is going to be like for Media Molecule, but I'm hoping that they would let us, like, if it does succeed, to put that on like Netflix or Hulu. You know what I mean? If it becomes like a popular animated show. But I don't know if they're going to let us do that.
I know someone asked a similar question, like if someone made something really dope, could they sell it? And they're saying like they're 100% for it, but it comes down to like copyright and all that. Cause like if you have something that someone made, are they gonna be like, can I get a piece? Or it's kind of complicated. So I understand that part, but you know, hopefully people can. Cause I don't want people to sell games just for me or anything. I just wanted to do it so they have more of a reason to do it. You know, like if people know that they can get like an income from doing crazy games or films, they're gonna be more motivated to do something really mind blowing. So I really hope so. Go ahead.
That's actually a good point that you made. That's one determining factor on whether the game is going to have longevity, is whether they can find a way to monetize people's time. Because look at YouTube. Remember YouTube? When I first started, I uploaded my first video on YouTube. You couldn't make money off YouTube. It wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. And back then, people would just upload like memes and like viral clips of someone like falling off a ladder or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like, it wasn't what it is today, where people are uploading every day, giving you content, entertaining you, and that only exists because you get paid. That's the only reason. So unless they can turn it into a platform where people are getting paid to spend their time and effort into things, it's not gonna last long, unfortunately.
Right.
So
yeah, let's hope though.
What's that?
I just joined if y'all can hear me, and I just wanted to ask a question about what y'all been talking about.
Oh, we were just talking. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you feel like it's gonna cause Media Molecule many issues because of that, like making money off of the product as a PlayStation and basically YouTubers? And do you think that would probably skew away the whole making money off of it, just being mainly just being an entertainment value more than making money off of it, like on YouTube?
Right.
I think honestly, what they could do to really benefit like Media Molecule, Sony, and the players, if they can do it where like all three of them get some kind of income. That's the only way I can see it, because I can't really see Sony being like, oh yeah, you guys can just make money, we're just gonna sit back and not get any kind of income from that. I can't really see that happening, but I can see them having like some kind of thing where, I'm talking about for games, bro. I don't know about films and all that, but for games, I know what they could do is have people make a game and maybe like have an option where they can go ahead and see if Sony can prove it, like Sony QA, and it may take a while, like maybe a couple weeks or a month or whatever. And when they see the game is really like, it functions well, it's really good, there's no bugs, they can go ahead and put it in the PlayStation Store, where people can go ahead and actually buy the game. But it's not like people in Dreams don't have to pay to play. It's not gonna be, if it's like that, I feel like it's gonna be a problem for like a lot of people. But for people who don't have Dreams, I just want to play that game that someone made with Dreams, they can. And they can pay for that and support.
Like almost like a 99-cent value kind of thing, maybe.
Maybe more. I mean, I guess 99 cents is okay, but I mean, it really depends on what they agree with. Any kind of money, I feel like would be good. And then have Media Molecule get like a cut, and Sony get a cut. That way, everyone's happy. Like everyone is happy. So,
what I think is, well, first of all, I don't think there's any way to export like a game out of the game, like onto your computer. There's no way to do that, right?
I don't think so.
As far as I know. Yeah, there's no way to like make a game and then export it to the PC. So I think that being said, they're not going to have any issues when it comes to that, because if somebody wants to make money off a game, they have to go to Media Molecule or Sony directly. The only thing they can't control though is like movies or animations, because you can easily capture card that.
Yeah.
And upload it.
Yeah, you can make money like that. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You just doing the share play through YouTube.
Right. Exactly. So I think Sony's never had any issues with stopping YouTubers from making videos about games.
Oh yeah, no.
Nintendo has, for example, like if you upload a video of Mario, sometimes they shut you down, they demonetize you, or they make all the money off your video.
That's kind of really scummy. What in the world?
Yeah, that's why you don't see many people playing Nintendo games. I think it was a poor decision on their part, because YouTubers are a big part of what makes a game succeed. Anyway, Sony's never had that issue, so I don't see them doing it. The only time I could see it maybe becoming an issue is, like I was saying, if we're selling our show that we made on Dreams to like Netflix, that might be a problem. You know what I mean?
But go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like Unreal Engine and stuff. what they do is they have two licenses. They have like a user license that's just a regular Joe Schmo making games and shows on it.
Right.
And then there's like the developer license, which you pay like $500 for, $1,000 for, and it basically means you can make games on their engine and sell it.
Right.
So that they might do something like that. They might release two versions of Dreams, one for the regular person, and then one for the person that's making like thousands of dollars off of it.
Right. I mean, honestly, if they were to make like a really dope animation, to record it and put it on YouTube, I don't really see them having a problem with someone selling it, because like, think about it, because YouTube is making money from basically, you uploading the animation that you made on YouTube. YouTube is gonna make money regardless if you monetize it. So if they allow you to do it, I don't think they would have a problem if they allow people to just sell what they make. Because I know there's like I don't know if you heard of it. It's like Red versus Blue. Like
yeah, I remember that. That's on Netflix.
Yeah, that's on Netflix. So
the Halo recording.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know
the game.
Yeah, I don't know about the licensing behind that, but
right.
I feel like if that was like all good and they had no problem with that, Dream should be a similar thing. I don't think they would really care about that, because you made it, you made it using that game. And I've seen a lot of times where people do like animation series or just games and all that with commentary and voice impressions and all that. So Dreams really could actually be really beneficial to even Sony and Media Molecule, because you're still promoting the game. You could be like Made in Dreams or something like that. And that's why I feel like Sony is not really gonna care what a lot of people do when it comes to like
hopefully
monetize, other than obviously selling your game. That's something that they have to discuss and talk about. But the thing that Media Molecule is really down for it, that's good. So I can see them talking about it like frequently, saying, hey, people are really into this. Sony, you want to try to do something about that or something.
Right.
But,
right. I remember.
I think a good way to do that. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think a good way, maybe. It kind of sucks in a way, because I don't think it takes away from the immersion of whatever you make. Say it was an animation, but if they had like kind of maybe a little watermark down at the bottom where it was like Made in Dreams kind of thing, and try to promote it that way as well.
Well, that's easy to get around if you have a capture card. You know what I mean? Like you can just.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't ever used like a capture card or anything like that. So
the only way they can implement that is if it, even when you play it, like like if you were to play someone's like movie like on Dreams, it would be there even if you play it. That's the only way they could do it. Even then, you could remove it. But that would help, I'm sure. But yeah, I know what you mean. But I don't know. We'll have to see. Well, I remember Little Big Planet way back when Media Molecule said that we're considering making some level creators be able to charge for their levels. They said that back in like Little Big Planet too. And it never came to fruition. Yeah, so it's possible that this is just like that. It might be something that they're hoping for but can never figure out.
Right. I think the difference between Dreams though and Little Planet always just looked like Little Planet. Like it wasn't anything that was like completely. I mean, I'm not gonna say mind blowing, because there's obviously levels that's just like till this day I don't know how they're made. But with Dreams, it's like a whole different atmosphere. Like, I mean, literally every game looks like actual games. It's not like something that's like any mini game. Like they look like actual games. So I feel like that that is just a whole different kind of thing that Sony has to deal with. And I mean, honestly that's probably why Sony is giving them so much time, because 6 years, like that's a long time for them to do something like that. It must mean that they really believe in this game and what it can do. And honestly I feel like it can really pay them back a lot if they because if you think about it, like this game is supported with like PSVR, move sticks, camera, all that. So that's gonna pay them back a lot, because PSVR for once is actually useful. I'm getting a PSVR for Dreams. You know what I mean? So like,
oh, I already got it. I got it for the main purpose of Dreams when I heard about the VR employees. So I
wish there was a way they could track that, so they know that we're buying it because of that game. You know what I mean? So they can, but I have a vibe.
The only way to do that is to actually see how many people are making VR levels.
True, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah. Like I have an HTC Vive, which is like way better, like twice as good as the PSVR, and I'm already gonna buy a PSVR just because of this game.
Right.
So they're definitely gonna make their money back.
Like, I can't even wait for that, to be honest. That's like a whole different thing. I don't even think about that, and I'm still mind blown. You know what I mean? So like, I can see people just doing different experiences with PSVR, not even games or anything, just
Yeah,
experiences. You know what I mean?
For me, I even thought about because I just recently had surgery, and I was thinking about on the surgery table, like that's what got me through it is streams, and even you, man, like dude, like when I seen your videos, I was like, this guy knows what's up. So
Yeah.
like, but I was laying there on the operating table, and I'm like, how cool would it be if like somebody who also was going into surgery that has no clue what they were walking into had a VR experience of,
Oh
okay,
snap!
hey,
Yeah.
you're coming back. They, put you on the table. They're doing different things, and just in the level with you going under anesthesia.
Sounds like a horror movie.
But I mean, you can implement that with anything, like a dentistry, medical, like anything, like to just give people an idea, other than just games, but an experience that you really don't get through VR. Because I bought Job Simulator, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be, in depth, and I'm like, I get in there and I hand somebody a bag, or take their carburetor out of their car and put it in with a new one, and that's it. Like, I want something more in depth, and I believe with the community that was on Little Big Planet and it's gonna be on Dreams, I
That's
think
all we
that's
need,
the
bro.
kind of stuff that you can look forward.
Yeah. Like the LBP community was insane. The moment that's all Dream needs to be targeted to, bro. The LBB community, because they are ridiculous. The kind of creativity that these people have. So I know Dream is gonna be insane. And like just what you were saying about like the fact that someone can make like a PSVR experience of what you were talking about, like them being a dentist or anything like that. Like that is something no other game will let you do. You know what I mean? Like that kind of idea is insane. Like somebody was talking about doing like a podcast in Dreams. Like that idea is so dope. You know what I mean? Like having different crazy ideas like that can just come out without even you trying. You know what I mean? So just imagine a whole team, right? A whole team sitting down thinking of crazy ideas to do for like a game or something. You know, like it's just I can go on and on talking about Dreams, to be honest. So like,
right. I think we should. Yeah. How long is your stream?
It's
how
been.
Long you gonna stream?
How long am I gonna stream? Honestly, I have no idea, to be honest. Like,
so I think let's bring some of the chat in here and like see what they're talking about. Like I saw this one guy here. He said, some Dustin Flick. He says, I don't think charging for games themselves is the answer, but some sort of money making that's less invasive to the consumer. I totally agree with that. I think that's how YouTube succeeded, is because you don't have to pay for it. I think, or you can with YouTube Red, but you also have the option to just watch for free, and people get paid through ads. Question is there any way they could implement some sort of advertising monetization system on that game?
Right. Oh, you know what? No, I don't know why I didn't think about this, but that's actually a good point. Someone could do something like perhaps what you call it, that one Patreon. You know how people can support through Patreon? What if they have like something like that in Dreams, where they can just, you know how Fortnite has this thing where when you buy a skin, you can actually support the creator or a creator that you like.
I didn't even know about that. Did they just add that? Because I heard there was a lot of controversy about that.
They added that like I think a month ago, but it's cool. Really dope. So they can do something like that in Dreams. If you like really like a game, you could probably do what they could do is have a way for people to support, or maybe you can get like different kinds of items in the game, like a special item or something like that. Like that is so possible. I can see that happening. So that would be dope.
I mean, I feel good about that too. The only thing that's the downside about it is that I could see a lot of people, having a gruff about is that we don't have to pay for any assets. We don't have to pay for any tool. I mean, we pay for it by buying Dreams, but buy assets for a game that I need. Like if you go on Unreal Engine, you can buy any asset that you want, but you got to pay good money for it. I believe there was an actual video. It's a big thing on the internet. I think maybe a year or two ago, where a guy made a fantastic looking game, and it was just him, and it kind of had like Final Fantasy, 15 kind of graphics and style to it, and it was just him. But the only thing that people don't understand is that he didn't make all of that. He bought all those assets. And
so what you're talking about is people making levels that they make money off of, and they're using other people's assets.
Yeah, it does come back to that.
I mean, not only that too. I mean, that's a good point. You know, I wasn't even thinking about that, but that's a good point that you bring up. But
Sounds like that was the point you were making. But yeah, anyway.
Oh, the point is that like I can jump on dreams. You know, I can make something and it pops off. It's popular.
Yeah.
And I can jump right back in the dreams without any. Basically, it's a profit, no automatic profit, because you don't have to really buy any, you know, tools. You don't have to, like, if you want to create it, you create it, and you get nothing but profit off of it, only because you hadn't had to, you know, pay somebody else to build this. Or,
Are you so what you're saying is because we didn't pay a lot for the game that we don't have the right to make money off the game? Is that what you're trying to get at?
No. Not that we don't have the right to. It's just that's another hurdle that it has to build over to where how much can we get off, you know, one single project. You know, because all we're talking about here is just time. You know, and I mean, I think time is a valuable thing. Like, it's a really good song that I like. But
I mean,
YouTube
is free, and the editing softwares you can get to make videos on YouTube, a lot of them are free. Right. Yeah, people profit. They make millions off of YouTube. I mean, I
was gonna bring that as well about YouTube, that because it's free and all that, people are making a lot of profit. But what you brought up, virtual vein, is that what you were saying about, you know, people having their assets and they're like making money from it. I literally mentioned that earlier, so I feel like they couldn't do it because of that. That's gonna cause a lot of problems unless they can make it from scratch. Because there is a way to see all the there's a credit thing where you can see all the assets. Like even if it's just down to like a little dot, it will have credit towards that. You know, so I guess what they could do is just be like, you have to make everything from scratch if you want to be able to get supported. And I feel like people would be cool with that. Or perhaps there's two people making a game and they both get like, I guess, half or something like that. But then that can get complicated if it just keep going on and on. It's like 20 people. It's like you got all this.
Because I mean, that kind of brings up the fact of what you said about you know, he's been doing the YouTube channel, you know, and then once Dreams gets a little bit more popular, then this other YouTube comes in who's already has a bunch of followers, jumps on the bandwagon, and I can kind of see that, you know, with creations to where this guy made something in his game that was really popular. He's got 3,000 people who likes it. I'm gonna put it in mine, who I have more followers, and I'm just gonna take all the attraction from him, and that's kind of where I see that problem.
Well, like he was just saying, I don't think you can do that.
Yeah, because it tells people.
Yeah, because it has that kind of like a watermark, like to where this asset.
Well, you can also it has a watermark, but also you can choose whether you want your item to be shareable or not.
Right.
That's what's really dope.
And it knows where the original asset was originated from. So even if like you make your item shareable, like he was saying, they could do an option where you can't make money off your level unless everything in your level is made by you. There's no assets from anywhere else. So I think that would solve that problem. But to go back, I see some people in the chat, like Dustin Flick again said, ads are the most invasive thing. I hate them. I don't block them out of respect for the content creators, but I think Patreon is a much better way of getting money for your time. I respect that. I respect what he's saying. I have to disagree in terms of total monetization. Ads suck, and I agree with you, but I think, let me just give you an example. I mean, I don't want to go into how much I make or other people make, but 99.99% of the revenue that I make and other YouTubers make is from ad rev. The 1% that's left is divvied up between YouTube Red subscriptions, which is people who are paying money, and Patreon. I have a Patreon that I push heavily in my videos, and in a video that has 10 million views, I might get 100 patrons from it, like 100. So out of 10 million people that watch my video, only 100 people decide to become a Patreon. So that's the number of people we're talking about that are willing to actually spend their money on something. So as much as you hate ads, I think it's
the best way because it's free, you know, like, you know, you don't have to pay nothing. You just watch it. Like, it adds sometimes lit, you know, you might actually be interested. Yeah, but it's definitely the best. I used to have ad blocker because I didn't understand YouTube. That was before I did YouTube. But when I understood that they were making money from it, because I didn't even know, I was like, oh snap, this is messed up. Because I thought it was just YouTube, man, making money from it. I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to watch that. You know, but like when I realized they were getting money, I'm like, oh snap. So I took off ad blocker to support them. Because I mean, the content is amazing. Why not try to help them, you know?
Right. It's a win-win for everybody. Yeah, I can see that. But I agree with you saying. I hate ads. I hate the idea of watching an ad before you play a level. Like that, it makes me cringe to think of that. But you have to think long term, and I think if we can get over that, yeah, I know you hate him. He's saying he hates him, but if you can get over that hate and learn to get used to it, I think it'll improve the quality of levels that we're gonna see on Dreams, because there's gonna be people who will spend all their time on it.
Will the ads be made in Dreams?
I'm sorry?
Will the ads be made in Dreams?
Ads? No. We were talking about a way to pay people who make levels for a living on Dreams, and you would show an ad before their level starts, and then they'd make like a few cents off of it that way.
That was a joke.
I didn't understand.
like I don't know, like say Walmart makes an ad in Dreams.
Yeah, you could do that, right? Makes an ad in Dreams, and then they play that ad before people's levels as you dream surf. Jesus.
Well, yeah, that's what I was like coming along the lines of too. Like make maybe like a 15-second ad of other levels, you know, that are kind of popular as well.
Right.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen. People making like trailers and stuff, showing the other creations.
Right.
Thing I have no idea how they're gonna do, and that's one thing I really worry is DLC, because I want them to make income. I don't want them to just be like giving everything for free. They can't make no kind of income whatsoever. How do you do DLC for a game like Dreams? How is that possible?
Different tools.
I mean, they have every tool out there. I feel like they always.
They did do that in the other Little Big Planets, right? They even though we thought we had every tool, they did add stuff that made it more convenient, right? Like the smoke machines and stuff like that were all added way after.
Or items like the Paintinator.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, if they do, I mean, if they're able to do that, I'm all for it, because I want to be able, like, if they have the collector's edition, I'm gonna buy that just so I can support them. Because a lot of people that were talking about Dream saying this game is amazing, but will they be able to survive after the game is released because of how much of a risk they're taking? Like, they're giving freedom to players that no other game dev was willing to give for free. You know what I mean? So it's like, dang. When Kind of Funny Games mentioned that, I was just thinking about it. I'm like, yo, I hope it's not gonna like go bankrupt or anything after Dreams drops. I really hope not. That's gonna suck.
Right. I assume they're under contract with Sony, and I assume right now at least that Sony is paying them per year. They're probably like under retainer with Sony, because I was always thinking like, how does Media Molecule still exist as a studio? How are they paying all these employees? You know what I mean? Right. And I realized it's probably Sony that is giving them a couple $1 million every year to spend on their employees and stuff. So it's possible that after this game comes out, even if they don't profit as much as they'd like, Sony might still believe in them and still continue to fund their company. That's also a possibility.
Well, the day that I figured that out was when they made the president's head, the president of I believe Sony. They made his head in the game.
Yeah, right.
When the VR headset, I'm like,
oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Right. Okay, let's go back to the chat to get people involved. JJ2 Sad says, Sony can kickstart an indie game program for small creators with this game, then sell the most popular games on the store, with Sony taking a small percentage from the sales. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what the idea that they were getting at initially. I would say the only problem with that is that they would, since it's hand selected, there would only be a small amount of people that could make money off of it. You know what I mean? That's like, if you were to relate that to YouTube terms, that's like PewDiePie and the Paul brothers. That's the type of people you would see profiting off of the game. I would say the end term goal is to get as many people involved as possible. The same way that even Project Genesis is able to make a little bit of money for the time he spends on these videos and these streams for you guys. I think that's the long-term goal you would want for a game like this if you want it to succeed. Someone else said something. Oh yeah, when we were talking about how they can sell DLC, somebody said that they could sell imp customizations. Oh yeah, and I know that's something they talk about in the streams too, right?
Yeah, I guess that's. I don't know. I don't know if people would be willing to pay for imp, because you can make your own imp. You know that, like.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like, what's the point of buying when you can make your own?
Right.
So.
What if they sold assets that they made that has no watermark? Like they could sell, but then everybody would be using the asset. You'd all of a sudden see that asset in like all these levels, and Yeah, I don't know if that's a great idea. Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough.
I mean, I think it is tools. It would have to be tools only
Yeah.
because
That's the only way, I think.
Right.
because they were even saying how they had to cut back. They were like, we stopped making tools because they're just whipping them out or they're thanking them. And you know, the long term, because people were thinking like, why are they going to put it out 2019 when 2020 they're going to be talking about PlayStation 5?
Right.
You know, and that's like another 2 years down the line.
Right.
But for me, that's just as easy for them to port it over to the PS4 or the PlayStation 5, you know, and just continue making that money off of it.
Right.
And even maybe the thermometer goes up a bit, you know, just different things like that. But mainly, I think it's just tools because there's a lot of things that we can probably use the tools now to get around, you know, things that are really hard to do. Like Mark Healy, he's making a procedurally generated world. You know, kind of
Why
like
was that
Minecraft.
so over? Like that was just like he just said it like it was nothing. That was what?
And that was the thing. I'm like, okay, so if he's saying it like nothing, is it going to be as easy for me to do that as well, or am I going to have to find a workaround that I don't really know? But they can make a tool that they could sell me, and I'll damn near pay $3 to buy it, you know, and use it. So I think tools, because
I agree.
Little Big Planet, like you go on a PlayStation port, you know, store and you put Little Big Planet in, the first thing you're gonna see is a costume. Like they have so many costumes, and that's just kind of impossible to do for something to where you can just make it, I guess. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think you bring a good point. You have to look at what we can't make on Dreams, and that's what they can sell. And the only thing we can't make is the tools. Everything else.
MMO expansion.
And the what?
Oh,
They could make
MMO?
like an MMO expansion, like make it possible to make MMO, because at the moment it's not possible.
They actually did talk about that though. They said that when the game drops and they focus on multiplayer, they plan to like trying to figure out how to add more players and all that kind of stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
They said that?
Yeah,
That's
they said
good
it.
news.
They said it once. Because they say it's not impossible to just add more players. Just they choose to have like 4 to 8 players. That's what they chose. I mean, I don't even care about that, to be honest. Like, I really don't, because all the games I played was only 4 players anyways. Like, you can play with your friend, like Fortnite, Call of Duty, all that, Call of Duty Zombies. But if they add more players, I guess it would be pretty dope. I know people just want to add more players because of Battle Royale. And I really hope people aren't going to spam Like, I don't care about that, bro. Like, I don't care about no Battle Royale games and Dreams.
Yeah.
I'm more,
is it even Battle Royale with 4 people? How do you do Battle Royale?
People literally ask that question. I'm like, are you serious right now? Come on, man.
When they had PSVR, like in the actual final version, I wonder if, because he said in the rapid fire questions that there wouldn't specifically be split screen support. So like, would you be in the same place in VR or something? I'm not sure how that would work.
What do you mean?
Oh, interesting. Because they don't.
Like it would be if you did the multiplayer and it was a VR game.
And then flip again.
Like would it be like normal VR multiplayer games? Would you see a different screen because?
Yeah, I mean you can't.
Without the online yet, it's all on the same screen currently.
I wouldn't assume that you could do. I don't think you could do 2 VRs in.
I don't think you can do it anyway.
Yeah, like in one console. I would assume that it's for multiple consoles.
Not on one console. I'm talking like online.
Oh yeah. Online is gonna be different screens. Yeah, like it's not gonna be like they're not gonna have like this thing where it's like couch co-op where you have to share a screen. Online is different screen, just like how Little Planet 2 was. It was the same thing. You had an option to either do. Go ahead.
I wonder if they'll have like these tools, maybe like camera, where you can set specific players' cameras. That would be pretty cool and useful.
Yeah, I'm sure they will do something. You turn your mic up a little bit because it's a little quiet. I can hear you, but I have to really.
I tried editing like everything on Discord.
Yeah.
And, like, they're just kind of crappy earbuds.
Well, just turn him up, Project Genesis, so the stream can hear him. If you just right-click on his name, you'll see user volume. You can turn him up.
Oh dang, you auto maxed out. I still can hear you. Yeah.
But
see if I can somehow connect my Turtle Beach headset.
Things moving
gonna mute myself real quick.
Fireflies and things moving in
But
the
I think a good
cloud
implication
formations,
or a
as
good thing
shooting
that they can do with
stars,
the VR headset
particles,
is that they can
sort of like northern light type stuff,
basically how they do.
and have that
I
all
don't know if y'all played
animating
I believe it's
for you,
PlayStation Worlds
all
or
with light
yeah, or something like
controlling
that
your
for
sun
VR,
direction and the time
and
of
you can
day,
have somebody be in the VR headset
how
and the
foggy it
other
is, and
controllers,
the combination
you
of
know, control
these,
people
you
on
can see
the
if you
TV.
want to fake
You
your
Yeah.
kind of have
rain,
one
you
person
use
in
again the
VR and one
painterly
person on the
tools and
TV. I think that would be, you know, something that they can do.
brush
Yeah,
strokes to
Right.
I
make
think
your
you already
rain
can.
feeling. You make your
Yeah.
sea, and again
Well,
some
if you can, then
strokes and move
that
it and
excites
get
me
sea.
even more.
Because there was one, there was, you know, I don't know if you've seen it, but there was like a space dogfighting game where it's actually meant for VR, but they were playing it without VR. So I would assume that, you know, one person can use VR, the other person doesn't have to.
Yeah, you use
But,
Well, we don't know that for sure yet, right? They could have like a restriction on it, where as soon
Yeah,
as you hook
something
up
I
the
can ask.
VR, it doesn't let you connect the controller. We don't really know. That would be cool. That would be great.
Yeah, I think this one just doesn't.
Because I mean, the kind of things they were doing, like on the PlayStation Worlds with that was like one person's a cat, and you know you got four little mice on the field, and you as the cat have to eat them, and
Yeah.
you know they got to run around and get the cheese and stuff like that. And if they move, I mean, it's very simple. You know, my kid and I, we have fun with it. But something like that,
Yeah.
you know, that you can, you know, do a game to where I don't know, one person's a giant monster and you all got to fight him, and he can hit you with the motion controllers, and just something that's more a little bit more in depth. You know, like
It's
four
funny you
guys,
say that.
or even Ghostbusters. You know, if you take that, four guys fighting one big ghost.
It's funny you say that because I actually wanted to make a level that was like that, where like you have one big human and the other one is like a bug or something, and you have to like survive. Because you can do that because you can minimize the characters and maximize the character without losing without adding to the thermometer whatsoever. So like that would be really lit. I don't know if you could do it with PSVR and non because we don't really know that, but I know you could do that with like regular controllers because they actually did that. There was like a bear that went to a house, and in the house, like the doll house was like another character that was really small, and everything inside the doll house is like actually useful and stuff, which is really dope. But I mean, we can go on and on about ideas and stuff you could do in dreams, but let's see if anyone has any questions in chat.
Yeah, but these bits, for example, just kind of need to be covered up.
So can you hear me now? Is it good?
No, it's still really quiet.
So now we're getting this.
It's weird. Discord
I
is
mean, it's the D-pad here, but it's strange.
Selling the engine. I don't know if anyone was talking about that. We weren't talking about selling the engine. We were just talking about like
I think
having
someone in the comments said it to him. That's why.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's what they're basically doing, is selling us the engine.
Exactly. Someone's talking about, this is something that I was personally thinking, but you see in their streams, 90% of the time they are copying assets and repositioning them. I mean, I understand that at first they did it to kind of showcase the quick way you can make levels. But after that whole thermometer debacle, when they were showing that one level that took up like 30% or 30% of it once he optimized it, I'm starting to think that it might be a thermometer issue. I think they're really struggling with it and they're afraid to tell us. I have that vibe. I feel like I feel like unless you really copy assets over and over again, we're gonna really struggle with how much we can fit into one level.
Yeah, they were saying someone did ask that question, and the answer is saying that when you actually copy an asset that's already made, it takes like a lot less than adding like different ones and different shapes continuously. So that's what they always like to copy and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I know the thermometer is probably going to be like one issue that people are going to have, but I'm sure there's different ways to go about it, just because you can go to a different level within like less than a second. So I know like people are going to make like for example, if it's like a horror game, right, and there's a house or whatever, different rooms could be like different levels because of how fast it is. It's literally like instant, really. So,
is it instant?
It's like
a flash. It's like a white flash.
It can be. They have different kinds. It's like flash, dissolve, wipe.
Right.
Yeah, they got different kinds of ways to transition, but it can be. It's really fast.
That brings up another good point that I've seen a lot of people ask and stuff, and I think they might have answered briefly. Is can can you save data on your levels? So like if you're making an RPG or something, can you save everybody's stats? You know what I mean? Their attack stats, their defense stats.
Yeah, that's actually pretty new.
Save and go between different levels.
Yeah, that's how they did the what you call it? The little planet level. Is that what you're talking about? Like going to a different level and having the same like data and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, but more complex than that.
What was one of the examples?
Right.
No, I was gonna
the exact example that they used, but it was something specific about variables that can travel from world to world.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. If you can literally transfer numbers, even a few variables of numbers or something, then that's enough to.
Oh yeah, you can do that.
Copy save data. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think even the logic doesn't even take up anything in the thermometer. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but
now logic does.
I think the logic can go infinitely, you know, if you so desire.
No, logic does affect the thermometer. Logic, I think, I think that's the main thing that actually affects the thermometer. Everything else, it's like, I think everything else can really be optimized. Music doesn't really take much from what I've seen. Paint stroke doesn't take much, which is why they use that so often. Sculpting is probably it takes much, but you can optimize that one. But logic, I'm pretty sure does take quite a bit. I'm not really too sure. I don't want to talk too much on it because they haven't really showed it. They kind of hiding it. They said to keep working. They're still working on it, so they're not really trying to show it yet. But I guess we'll know when the beta comes, which is I believe next month.
I think what's different is that I don't know if you guys have played Sculptor VR or anything like that.
I heard of it.
Yeah.
But the way they do it is that it optimizes it as you get further away. And it does all the optimizing on its own. So if you did create something with high detail, it will look shitty from far away. But once you get right up close to it, it looks great.
Right.
And that's how they.
That would be dope. I hope you can do that in Dreams.
They can, but it's like I don't know if any of it is automatic. I think you have to do it yourself. I'm not sure.
Well, I've seen if you notice things that are far away in Dreams tend to be really blotchy and almost faded. So it's possible that they already do that. Because I've noticed that things that look far away get really blotchy. They have like this painterly, splatterly look for everything in the distance. So it's possible they already do that. I don't know.
Yeah, because I don't know which stream it was, but I thought I heard them talking about, you know, having to
PS6 stream
optimize it yourself.
Yeah. No, but maybe that's a layer on top of it because I saw them reducing the quality of stuff that was even close to you to reduce the thermometer even more. So maybe that's just an additional option they give you to optimize even more.
Yeah, because I had even thought about like having like a battlefield, you know, maybe with a bunch of copied characters, you know, just different colors, and having that and doing like a close up on it, you know, for that nice detail, but then like have like a little battle going up, you know, in the kingdom, where you could still see that outlay on the outland, you know, but it is, you know, blotchier, or you can kind of give it a window effect of stained glass window, and of course it's gonna be blotchy and stuff. So
right.
I had an idea like that, like where you have one level where it's like a space dogfight, and you're just like battling it out in a normal dogfight game, and then it transfers that variable, all those variables, to a different game where it's like just land. So it's like just normal war, and then if you look up, it uses those variables to take like slightly less complex.
Oops.
Right, yeah.
He just got DDoSed by Dreams. They're like, he knows too much.
I want you guys, when we've gone through them, we come back. I want you to sort of cheer and shout when there's one that you want.
Are you back?
And we'll see whichever one gets the biggest amount of cheers is the one we're going to choose. So
left the
keep these in mind as I go through
my
them.
idea was you have this like space dogfight, and
go back to the beginning.
maybe it would be multiplayer.
We'll start again. So you guys ready? So I want you to cheer when you see the one you really want.
It would be
Okay,
like a
so we
space
got like
dogfight, and you look down at this planet and you see a little tiny war going on that planet because the variables are going from the land war one to the space war. And you could also go the other way around. So you look up in the sky and you see a bunch of like spaceships flying around, just like you would in the other game.
And
be like a
So would the space and the planet be 2 different levels? Is that what you're saying?
There'd be 2 different levels, but like in the same, I guess you'd call it universe.
Oh, I don't think it works like that. You're saying you're saying real-time variable input and output between levels. I don't think it works like that. You're thinking like next level.
Maybe every it would update. I mean, obviously it wouldn't be real time, but like maybe you'd be able to like save what the war was like and then put that in like the next gameplay.
Oh, so it would be, but I think it's all relative to the person though. So like once they play on that planet level, and then they go out into space, you're saying that it saves what they did on that planet and shows them destruction that's happening on the planet. Yeah,
so you would see exactly that battle.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting. That's next level thinking. I like it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, but I have no idea if what you call it. I have no idea if you're able to save, because I was trying to look up to see if I could find any information on Alex saying anything about what you were saying about the variables and stuff. I can't find it. For some reason, Twitter's so weird. If the message is so old or the tweet, it just disappears. So I can't even find it. Like what?
Right.
But yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, chat. If you have a question, you can ask, and I'll try to see if I can answer it.
See, a lot of things that video games developers do is the effect where things don't exist on unless you're looking at them. That's one of the ways that they save memory and they optimize. Is like you could have a whole level and then if you turn around, it all disappears. It only renders what you're looking at. And I wonder if that's something Dreams does inherently, or that's something that you'd be able to do on your own. But either way, that's how they made the dynamic thermometer in Little Big Planet, because once they came out with that thing, it was revolutionary to how big you could make levels, and they pretty much didn't make anything until you got to it.
Oh, I mean, if they could do that a little, I have no doubt that you can do it in Dreams, and that's the case.
Yeah, but if that was, I remember a lot of people asking about that. They asked if dynamic thermometers were a thing, and I think they said no. And I'm wondering as to why.
Oh, how long ago was that? Was that recent?
I think I don't remember. I think it was a few months ago. I remember exactly where they answered it.
Okay.
They did some. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. Someone was asking something about like, if there was a way to, like, do an open world and making a massive world where like it doesn't like you're not making the whole game or the whole game isn't there. It's like when you move, like more of the game shows or something like that. And Alex said yes to that. I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
Well, that's doing it manually. I was wondering if there's an option for the game to just do it on your own, like a checkbox.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea. Yeah.
You just check it off, and it doesn't make things unless you're there.
Right.
I don't know.
That's kind of like how it was going about with the foreground or the background, not being there, because of your position.
Right.
No Man's Sky, they do that. Like Hello Games, they do that in No Man's Sky to where it's like it's not there until you kind of look at it. And
right.
I mean, to say that it couldn't be implemented in this, I mean, I believe it is, and yeah, like you were saying, if it's like a check mark that you can just put, or if you have to do it on your own.
Right.
And I think you have to do it on your own. I'm not sure.
I mean, if that's an option, that would be amazing. Because Dream doesn't have a limit in terms of how big you can make a level. There's no, you know how Little Planet, you had like the space or the area, but you can't go past like a certain area. Like you're stuck in like a little box basically. With Dream, there isn't any border whatsoever. Like there's none. So if you could do that, I mean, sheesh, that would be really lit. Like you can actually make open world kind of games and doing that.
The reason why I'm unsure if you can, because I saw somebody ask them about emitting stuff, and they were saying that if you, because like we know how to emit in Little Big Planet, you just have this little device. For those people that don't know, you just have a little piece of logic, and you would tell it what to create at what time with what input. So somebody was saying, like, could you just make a whole level where everything is emitted, but not until you look at it? And they were saying that that doesn't work, because as soon as you give an emitter like something to output, it already takes into consideration the thermometer space that item would take. So I don't think there's a drastic reduction in the item's processing if it's already told to emit it, even if it's not there yet. So that's what makes me question if you're even able to do this manually,
right?
Or if it would even save thermometer space. If you have thousands of things planned to emit, but only when you look at them, I don't know if that would really help.
So you're kind of saying how that guy did his Hammer Time game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, because he was saying his didn't emit until afterwards. Right. So that's my question is like, if you, because you could easily do that, right? We saw with the dogfighting game, how he created like that ray system where the AI could track where it's going. So he created almost like an artificial eyesight. So we would hook up a bunch of rays to a person's first-person camera, and you would tell it that only when that ray intersects a certain like invisible box will that item create. And they'll do it so fast to where things will be there every time you look at them, but only when you look at them. I don't think that'll solve it because everything is planned to emit will take into consideration thermometer space. That's why I think it's really important for them to implement their own dynamic thermometer. I don't know. We'll have to see how it is.
So if they look away from something, does it take it away as well? Or
yeah, you would have to. That's the point. Yeah. So when you look away, it disappears, which is what should save thermometer space.
Yeah, that's what I would
but I don't think it will.
That's interesting.
Yeah, from what they were saying, I don't think it does.
Isn't there?
I see that being good for. Sorry.
I was about to say, like, isn't there? I was trying to say.
Oh, you're good, man.
I don't know. You could go first. You go first.
No, I was just gonna say that maybe that could be good for VR because of motion sickness and stuff like that. That's kind of where I'm at with that because they have to really look into those kind of things to where, okay, is this object at the corner of your eye gonna maybe mess with you a little bit? If somebody wanted to do like, I'm Iron Man and I'm in my suit and my UI is over my face, kind of how they did with the robot when they made it on that one planet with like the voiceovers and everything. Like simple stuff like that, maybe, I don't know, like that's really hard to say because if you have things that are right in your vision and your eyes can't handle it, you're definitely going to get sick. And I don't know, something like implementing,
like a warning,
this thing pops in, when, it's supposed to be there. Just, I don't know.
I guess it could have like a warning before you start the level, so you know that, hey, if you can't handle this kind of stuff, hey, probably shouldn't play this or something like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because I mean, it is VR. VR is like, it's pretty intense. It can be. I think that's what's really dope about the VR is that you can't upload it unless you complete it yourself. Because someone could just really mess you up and just do some crazy stuff without you expecting. Like you playing like a family-friendly game out of nowhere, someone's like coming at you trying to kill you. Or something. Yeah. So I guess that's really dope that that you have to complete the level before you can.
Wait, so what's the point of that? Why do they make you complete it first? Because that's easy to cheat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you can actually cheat that because I guess you could add like a little back door or something.
Yeah, just make logic like a little code you put on the.
Oh yeah, that is true. I don't know. They got it from Warrior or some Mario Maker thing. They used to do that, but
I heard him say that. But I don't know what the point is because you could easily cheat it with logic.
That is true though. Dang, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Could also have like a higher tolerance to like VR stuff as well.
That's true.
Like than other people, like motion sickness. Like me, I don't really get dizzy looking at like 3D shit or whatever.
That's
so,
true.
I mean, I swear.
They probably just have like a report button. If this causes you motion sickness, please report it. And then if a level has a lot of reports, they just warn you at the beginning. A lot of users have reported this as.
People that just get motion sickness from like every VR.
That's true. Yeah. That's why most VR games are teleport based. Yeah.
But I think more so like with the whole.
You gotta turn your mic up, dude. Yours is really quiet.
I think the microphone is actually just the one on my phone. Is it louder now?
Yeah, it's better, yeah.
Well, that explains it.
Go ahead.
So what was I gonna say? I don't know.
We distracted you.
Well, someone said in the comment section that they are working on streaming data seamlessly between the different levels, so open worlds will be possible if they get that done. But they said it's still possible. You have to use clever workarounds. Yeah, I mean, I know for a fact people are gonna find a way to work around. Because I mean, even Little Planet, like I said, some of the stuff that they did was just not even. It wasn't even supposed to be possible, bro. Like first person, like that's ridiculous. So I know I'm not even worried about people making open worlds and stuff. It's just for people who, aren't really technical and stuff like that, knowing much about logic. just wait for them to do things without having to really be an expert at logic and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I know you can use the D like, or what is it called? It like lowers the quality or the resolution of items.
Yeah, we were talking about.
I don't know if you can like activate that with like an input, logic input or something.
That's a good point.
Or is it just like always like that?
That's a very good point. So what he's saying is, you know how you would they almost brush stroked it so that to derez it.
Yeah.
He's saying if you could do logic where it would do that on its own, so you, like when things get far away, it would derez it through logic. That would be very interesting.
That would be dope. Yeah.
It'd be useful as well.
That saves so much, like so much the moment. I seen it one time, like it went down like almost nothing when they made it look like it was like kind of brushy.
Yeah. Right.
That would help a lot for sure.
It'd be a good way of cheating this thing. So if you get near it, then you can actually, you know, put in the effort to make it like look better.
Right. We also don't know how they're going to update the game afterwards, because I think if I remember right, Dynamic Thermometer was something that came out after the game released, Little Big Planet. So it's very possible that it comes out and we're not going to be too happy about how little you can play, the options we have to cheat it, and then a few months down the road they might work on improving that. You know.
Yeah, I know for a fact they said that they're gonna keep adding like updates and stuff to make things better. They're always gonna keep working on it. They're gonna have like a 10-year plan.
Yeah.
10 years is a long time.
Yeah.
Because I know like every time someone asks a question, it's like, oh, it's not there yet, not in the first release, but we'll be like importing photos and stuff that says it's not gonna be in the first release and all that. So they definitely probably will add it later on down the road and stuff if more people ask for it, depending on how many people ask.
Right.
I mean, you think they'll make it as like DLC or just like updates? I don't know if like Media Molecule's that janky with it, but like
they're usually not.
Never know.
In the past, they've always given out tools for free.
Because like Move Pack had tools in Little Big Planet 2 that like were really useful, like Sticker Panel in Little Big Planet 2, but they put that in Little Big Planet 3 anyway. But still.
Yeah, that wasn't Media Molecule, was it?
No, in Little Big Planet 2 it was.
Oh, okay.
But Sumo Digital just put it in Little Big Planet 3 anyway, which is kind of nice, I guess.
That is a good point. And they did charge for the Move Pack or no?
Yeah, like $10.
Right.
I think the only thing that's different from there is like it's completely different tools. But if there's like a tool that can be improved and updated, I don't think they would charge for that. But something that's completely brand new, not even anything that's been there. I guess, I mean, I wouldn't mind if they charged it because I'll still pay for it. But
like a water tool, I will pay $5 for.
Yeah, they were saying there's no water tool, yet that water looked amazing.
Yeah,
I don't think we need a water tool.
Yeah, like that, what I've seen, bro, like, nah, man. That looked amazing.
Tell me how they were able to make those wooden planks. Like, did you see how it sank, like, based on the edge of the plank they were on? Like, they'd step on the left corner would sink. And you're telling me that's not real water? How the hell did they do that?
Just a god.
Jesus. Mario 64, they did that in Dire Docks.
Right.
You would just sit on one side and it would drip, and I was like, what?
That's funny.
Now with like, sorry to go back to the whole VR thing, but you were talking about how you can find a loop around, you know, basically what Project was saying with to where, you know, in VR you have to complete the level yourself.
Yeah.
And are you saying that like there can be an end game, but you can find a loop around that?
Well, since we have logic, you could literally create a code on the remote, like X circle circle square square, and when you press that, it puts the end of the level. But no one will know that but you. So you can technically complete the level instantly.
Oh,
okay. There'd be an easy fix for that.
How?
Because like, so this would be kind of like a community-driven thing, but like there could be like a rating on VR levels that's like, oh, how like motion sickness is this, like 1 out of 10 stars or something.
Yeah, I was just saying that.
Oh
earlier,
yeah, you can downvote now in Dreams. So if it gets downvoted enough, it's not gonna get recommended or anything like that. So that's really dope.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would like that.
One of my main fears for Dreams is all of the gameplay that I've seen was on a PS4 Pro, and I don't have a PS4 Pro, I just have a normal PS4.
Right.
I said that a lot of the games might run at like 30 FPS instead if it was not on a PS4 Pro.
Right.
And I was like, oh man, I want that to run crystal clear, especially because I have a PSVR.
Right.
Oh, PSVR, they have to do, what is it called? Because PSVR, it has to have like 100 FPS or something like that. But they said it's a way to do it where they can have like at 120 FPS. It's not like actually 120 FPS, but it's like a little trick that a lot of studio does. That's what Alex said. So for that, I don't think you have to really worry much, because you can't.
Wait.
If it's 60 FPS, you're gonna get motion sickness. Like it's not gonna really work well at all. You get what I'm trying to say?
VR games have to run at high frame rates, so you get sick.
No, they have to run at a higher frame rate, so it's like smooth, because it's in your face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in your face.
But
so
does that get you sick if it's not smooth?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, if it's like you see somebody janking and basically like, because I can get motion sickness from playing on a Rec Room, and you play with other
really?
characters on there.
So sick,
And
you can do so much crap and it makes
Really? Rec Room gets you sick? Yikes.
well, only because of the jankiness that some characters can have, especially if they get up in your face and they got lag on them and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like hopping
Very
in and
jarring.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, jarring is a big deal. But like I can't play basketball on there because the basketball doesn't move like at a really good like rate. So it kinda gives me, like,
Wait, maybe
yeah.
you're playing. What are you playing on? You're playing on PlayStation, right? Maybe that's
Yeah,
the difference.
I got a PS4 Pro.
Okay.
I got the PSVR. Like I went all out because of Dreams. And,
Yeah, that's crazy. Because I play on PC with the Vive, and I've never seen anything janky like that ever.
oh,
PCs are generally better.
Right.
yeah, like that is definitely like that's what I want to play it on because
Right.
I really like Rec Room.
Right.
But so that's why I haven't really,
I see.
wanted to play like Firewall or anything like that. It's just the jankiness of it. So I believe if they get it to where it's 120 frames, especially if they have to do a little trick and all,
Yeah.
like I don't think I'll get sick at all. So.
Right.
Yeah, PSVRs generally have lower latency anyway, so I don't know. It'll be fine, I think.
Yeah, actually, I have the tweet right
A
here.
lot of like realistic objects to have make move smoothly. So
I have the tweet right here of Alex talking about the VR. He's saying yes, we use no, actually no. Let me read the tweet that someone tweeted it. It said, I was curious how Dreams would work with PSVR. If the game targets 30 to 60 FPS, and the recommended frame rate for VR is 90. Are there any rendering tricks you do to update the game faster in VR to avoid motion sickness? And he responds with, or Alex, he responds with, yes, we use some tricks like dynamic resolution and offsetted rendering. We also plan to require PSVR to be tagged as VR and run at 60, which effectively means you have to be more cautious with tools. Many PSVR titles target 60 with reprojection to 120, which is our current plan. And that was tweeted like around June 2018.
Yeah. So it sounds like that. I mean, he said dynamic resolution, which kind of sounds like what we were talking about. And to go off what this guy here in the chat says, James Majdali, he says, based on what we were talking about, would you be able to do like that de-rendering? Would you be able to hook that up to Logic? And he was saying you can record lighting changes, which we've seen them do. And he says, I bet you'll be able to change the resolution slider and save that change for a trigger zone. That sounds like a decent idea based on what we've seen about lighting changes. But yeah, that's possible. Are you playing that right now? Jesus, that gives me anxiety. That song gives me anxiety.
I love that song. It's great.
Oh man, I've heard that song way too much in my Little Big Planet days.
I was like, that was the jam. You were bopping in that in the pod.
Oh Jesus.
Well, that's what I can't wait for now is, the music that they got going on.
Yeah.
Just everybody involved. Like, because the team is way bigger than it was on Little Big Planet, and just all those different inputs, and especially since they can just make it right there in the game, that should tell you that if they can make it, we can make it. And I don't know. I feel like we're gonna have a lot of tunes stuck in our head.
The music scene is a lot larger this time around too.
I feel like the craziest thing is the fact that you can import sounds. That is going to be really huge, because man, Little Planet 2 was really bad when it came to animations, because like everything just sounded really trash.
Right.
Import sounds, so like it could be like a studio who has high quality like rain sounds or high quality any kind of sound you could look up, and just import that into Dreams and have it sound like realistic, like gunshots.
I don't know how that would work though. Like
horror films, horror games. You said how would that work?
Like I understand how it could work, but like how does like just like another Joe Schmo, like how do they just like import the, you know, an MP3 into Dreams through their PS4? Like
no, it doesn't. That's what I used to think, but it's actually a website. It's called indreams.me. You can just drag and drop like anything audio wise.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Okay,
I didn't know about that.
They did say an app. I don't know why they said an app. I mean, it makes sense to just say there's a website to import sounds. I feel like a lot of people will be like, oh, that makes sense, because I was over here thinking you have to put it through your PlayStation app as well. I was like, what? I don't get that, man. I don't understand what you're talking about. But
I don't know how they're gonna deal with, like, I remember in Little Big Planet you couldn't escape the people who were recording real music through their PSI and their systems, and it sounded like trash, so it wasn't a big deal. But if they're importing full-blown songs,
oh yeah,
manage that.
Yeah, that's also something that I'm worried about.
They said they were gonna come harder down on the copyright thing, like copyrighted characters like Sonic and whatever on this game too. So maybe they'll do that with MP3s as well. So I don't know.
Oh man, they're gonna have to hire a whole.
That, but what about covered songs? Like if I have a band that I want to cover, you know, and I want to put their song in my, you know, game.
Yeah.
I do all the instruments. I do the vocals.
That should be fine.
Yeah, you should be fine.
That should be fine. Even YouTube.
I think it'd be similar to YouTube or something.
Yeah.
Right. Because even then on YouTube, I don't know how it really works. Like, do you have to give?
No.
No, you have
if
to
you don't monetize it, you don't have to ask or do anything. If you monetize it, I think it's a little more complicated. I think you might need permission.
I mean, it's pretty much a remix, to be honest. Like,
yeah, right.
If I were to make a game in the style of Doom that was just like a top-down game, and I had sound that was similar to the Doom music, do you think that would get like taken down or something?
That's a gray area.
Similar, as in like it is the same as the Doom music, or is it just like inspired by it or something?
Well, I don't know much about music creation, so it'd probably literally just be the same.
Yeah, they'd probably
the same music.
They'd probably want to take that
maybe
down.
If I didn't upload it, would it still get like?
No. If you don't upload it, you can still do it. You can just you can do anything if you don't upload it. It's only when you upload it that they have to take it down.
It's like any VR game that you don't want to pay for, you could literally just make it, or any other
yeah,
game.
I guess.
I mean, if you have that talent, yeah. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I can make Job Simulator.
Yeah, that would be one of the easier games to make.
I want to see somebody make that like Shark VR cage experience thing.
Oh
yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, that would be dope.
Like bombs all in VR.
I thought you were gonna say Shark Survival, like Little Big Planet.
Oh, actually, speaking of that, seriously, I want to make that. Like, that's gonna be so lit in Dreams, bro. Oh my
Shark
god,
Survival VR.
especially VR. That's gonna be like one of my favorite games,
swim away
probably.
from this shark.
Yeah, that'd be lit.
God.
That'd be lit.
Like when Dreams has been, or like when the beta's been out for a while, I'm just gonna search Little Big Planet and just see all the stuff that I find.
Alright.
That'd be so cool.
There's gonna be so much trashy stuff that succeeds. You know,
That's like me buying my PS4 and then buying a PlayStation 1 game.
Right.
I'm joking, but no, I mean I really want to see all the, you know, Little Big Planet stuff, and like not only that, but when I seen somebody made a video about Super Mario but in 3D, and you got a first-person perspective of him just walking along these, you know, bricks. I want to see a first-person perspective, you know, Little Big Planet. Like that would be
cool.
ridiculous.
That would be amazing.
Someone was actually trying to tell what you call it, Christoph, to do that during the LVP stream, but I don't think he saw the comment of someone asking that. But
right,
that's easy to do. All you have to do is just put a camera in the first, like the front of the face and hide it. But then you have to make the level like compatible with first person, because it's gonna look like trash. You know what I mean? I would think so.
I feel like it's too easy to create in Dreams. I know that's not like a bad thing, but like if you like look at like Little Big Planet or something, like it wasn't hard to create, but it wasn't easy to make something like good. But like in Dreams, it just seems like you can just like smack together some like 3D shenanigans.
Yeah.
So I wonder how like good. things are gonna get like the really good like creators are just gonna.
Well, that's how I
been
feel.
Using it for like 6 years, so they have a lot of experience.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, not only that, but like you put me in Pixar Studio and they tell me, okay, make this short little film that, you got all your storyboard here and everything. I wouldn't even know where to start, but I don't even have dreams yet, and I know exactly where I'm going to start only by following their streams. And if that's not user friendly, I don't know what is.
I mean, yeah, it's incredibly user friendly.
In Pixar, that would be interesting if they kind of use dreams to like make like a DLC kind of by Pixar or something like that. By you know what I'm saying? Like if they can make like a short film that's made by them and people can maybe get that or something. I don't know. I feel like that would be dope.
Yeah, interesting.
Because like some of the stuff in dreams that I've seen, kind of like it was made from Pixar directly. Like
yeah, has that kind of vibe, I guess.
And that's what I also fear, like, because again, that would have to be like, unless they put it out for free, it would just be another, you want to pay for this or have somebody create it for you. Because like I see all the time, in the wrestling games, if they don't have a wrestling character in there, like Crispin Wall, they will put it in there and they will create it, for everybody to use. And a lot of the times that they come in and say, no, you can't use this, and they take it down. But I don't know. I mean, that's one of the touchiest subjects that I've come to find with dreams is that there's nothing that they can do that nobody can create other than tools.
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be much DLC, if any, in this game that isn't like, I don't know, just like adding features. I don't think there's gonna be any like, is it copyrighted stuff? I mean, not copyrighted, like material like that.
Yeah, we trademark material from other developers and like productions and stuff.
I don't know, Dick. Nah. I don't think that could work like that. I know in Little Planet you can, you pay for DLCs for like certain materials and stuff. But Dreams is different. Because Dreams,
I know, but
like everything is made from scratch. Everything, like, you know what I mean? So it's like the only way they could do it is what we were talking about earlier, is to make tools that it's not.
Yeah, which still seems kind of cheese.
I don't know. I mean, I would do it to support, but hey, we'll see.
Yeah, me too. But like,
But not only that, but you got to understand that everything that was made in Little Big Planet to be sold wasn't made in Little Big Planet. Like their whole premise behind Dreams is the game that we're selling is made in here. So if they had anything that was closely to any production or trademark value, they would have to make it in Dreams too, just to say that it's authentic. And I don't see that happening.
That's true. That is actually really true, huh? Except that's what I'm saying. The only thing that's completely not made in Dreams is tools. They have to make it outside and put it in Dreams. You get what I'm saying? So like everything else though is made in Dreams. So it's like, what can you do? Kind of thing. Someone asked a question. They were saying, let's say there's a great game built by someone in Dreams and he asks for a little money donation. Will the people be prepared to pay? Oh yeah, we talked about earlier. Talked about that. We were saying, if Media Market had like a little.
No, he's asking for the stream. He wants you to ask everyone in the chat to see if they'd be willing to. Like he wants you to take a poll almost, from my understanding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, chat. So, if for example, like, let me reread this so I know exactly what he's trying to say. Oh yeah, okay. Say for example, your favorite game maker or like the known, really popular game creator made an amazing game and he asked for a little money. Would you be willing to support him or not? I mean, I would. Like I said, I would. I mean, I know it's not everybody. Like a lot of people just probably gonna be kids, like not gonna want to pay anything.
Right.
Yep.
And that's the problem with that. That's the problem.
I don't have any digital currency.
Like I said, dude, I got 10 million views on my video, and I only got like 100, 200 patrons from it.
That's just that just goes to show. The only way to really do it is to do ads. I mean, I don't know what else. Ads is everywhere. Like, there's a reason for that. It's not because you know what I mean. Like, they don't want to do the other way. It's just no one wants to really support, no matter how amazing it is.
Right.
Not a lot of people, at least.
Right.
I mean, people look for different things when they try to support somebody with money instead of just like, oh yeah, this is good content.
Mm-hmm.
Like they look for a lot of things like the personality, the charm, like the connectedness, the creator, or other things.
Which won't
like
be...
there'll be some creators on YouTube that only have like 1,000 subscribers, but like they'll have like 500 patrons or something.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be crazy.
Right.
And this is a very small collection because I want to show you how weird our audio.
I mean, I kind of think about Greg Miller when I think about that, because I've been following him since he was on IGN and doing his Beyond and everything like that. And now that he has kind of funny games, like it kind of gave me the, the drive to say, yeah, I want to support this guy. And, I donate $10 a month to him. So, I mean,
I feel like you built a long connection with them, like a long. That's like basically family almost, because you say from IGN. I mean, sheesh. You know what I'm saying? You basically know the guy, like actually know him. So
I cried when he left IGN. Put it that way. I'm like, no, where are you going? And then I found him, in his kind of funny games, and from day one, I've been supporting him on that too. So, I mean, I think it's all about your audience and how you. Like if I made an emotional video in Dreams and then I put it on YouTube, like if somebody finds emotional value in that, they're gonna give me a subscribe.
I honestly hate that emotional thing. I don't want to. I know everyone isn't like trying to just get money. It just always seemed kind of. I don't want to say scummy, but every time I see that, it just kind of makes me cringe a little bit. Just a little bit. You know what I mean?
Because you see it so often.
Yeah, it's like my family died, so I'm actually homeless. Bro, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like,
no, that's not what I was saying. That's not. I mean, like making an emotional video, like, like not you being emotional yourself,
like
but
an emotional movie or something.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Something that reflects his personality.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Project just went off.
Yeah, because I've seen so many videos, like, bro, that one video that people saying they're dying and they need money.
Yeah.
That just doing it, bro. That made me so pissed, bro, because they were lying about that. I'm like, come on, man.
And some of them don't lie. I mean, I don't know. You could probably tell them apart. You like really try hard enough.
Yeah.
No, but
like,
the problem is
crying enough. Something is off here.
There's not gonna be a connection between you and the people who play your levels. Like there'll be a few people who go and follow your social media and get to know you, but it's nowhere near like YouTube standards where people know you, they know your personality. They're gonna enjoy your games, and that's where it's gonna end. So it's gonna be even harder to get patrons and get donations.
And I think that's where it lies, is that you have to get them basically intrigued from the gameplay. You got to get them, caring about these characters that you created. And
oh yeah, I mean, if it's really good,
Right.
I like to see that. Like if they make like a Last of Us kind of thing, you know what I'm saying, where I connect with the character. I mean, it doesn't have to be in that scale, but if I can connect with the characters to the point where I'm like, bro, this is too good, bro. I gotta support you. You know what I mean? Then I will support you.
Just like regular video game making. It's like you like a game so much, and you're just like, these developers are all right. I'm gonna buy their next game, or whatever.
Yeah. Because my wife, she's not a huge gamer, but she literally, like, every time I played The Last of Us, I couldn't play it unless she was in the room, because she was invested in these characters and she was just watching me play.
Right.
And she watched me from the moment I started, and she's seen the little girl die. Sorry for spoilers if you haven't played it.
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
She died.
First 10 minutes.
I just started playing.
And then but from that moment she was invested, and it was because the story invested her. She felt an emotional connection, and I feel like that's where it's all going to come down to in Dreams, is that you got to build your fan base from your heart, basically, and basically like what you feel you want to get out and who wants to hear your message, really, because that's all we're really doing, is just sending on a message of, this is what I find fun, or this is what I find entertaining, and I hope you do too. And if you do, then boom, like, give me a like, so like, I feel that's the only way that we're going to be able to build it up, because unless you're on YouTube and using Dreams, in part with YouTube as well.
I was just about to say that, like, that's probably the best way to do it, because I mean, basically the only way to, I guess, for me, from what I'm hearing, I guess the only way to really get people to support you is if they care about the characters. But if there's someone makes a game that's super fun, like, I'm really all about a simple game. Like, my favorite game in Little Planet 2 was the Shark Level. That game was just so fun to me. But it's not emotional, it's just fun, you know what I mean? So like I feel like a lot of people aren't really gonna support just because it's fun. But if they were to like make YouTube videos of like, you know, them expressing their personality and all that, then you're like, bro, I actually like the person more than the game. And I guess that's the only way to really do it. I mean, it's really, really hard to, you know, have people support you if the game is just so fun. It's like, hey, that's fun, but I don't know if I want to support you. But only way I can really see them supporting is if it's emotional characters or characters that you really connect with or something like that.
Because I mean, I don't feel like Tomb Raider would have jumped off as big as it did if it had like a crazy cat lady as the main character. You know, like just it's got to feel like, you know, this person's real. This person's, you know, somebody that I can, you know, see myself being. And that's where I'm taking a lot of my inspiration as I'm going along with, you know, like jotting everything that I want to do down. Is that do I feel like this person can connect to somebody else? And if they can't, then I don't run with it, because you know, what's the point? You know, especially if we're trying to make an impact on people, you know, not just by saying, hey, here's a game, you want to play it. Like, hey, here's a game, you're going to want to play it, you're going to want to be invested. And then once you get them hooked like that, okay, in 2 weeks I'm going to have another one, so you got to wait, but in 2 weeks it's there. And just build your fan base up. Like, and that's the thing, I don't see myself, you know, becoming popular on YouTube, but my content's still going to be on my YouTube channel, you know. And I don't know, just I don't see myself, like, I don't feel like I want to get popular from it. I just want to make content. Like, just like with projects, you just want to make content, you know, because nobody's talking about it, you know. Like with my surgery thing, nobody's talking about that. Nobody has,
at least not yet,
an experience.
Someone might just take that and just run with it.
I'm actually gonna steal that idea. I wrote it down. So
I mean, if you do, you know, I mean, the more content that's out there available, you know, makes people look. Because if Media Molecule wasn't doing their streams every week, you know, I probably wouldn't be looking, you know, for other outlets, you know, like projects, and you're the only one that does it. So it's like, boom. Like, I don't know how else to say it. It's just, if it's out there, it's out there. And when it's out there, more people are going to look for other outlets as well, not just the one person's point of view. So if you did, you know, take the idea, well, who else made something like this? And hopefully that can be, you know, progressed into the whole Dreamverse or Dream Surf thing. Because I don't want like a Dream Surf to where it's all different content. Like, it would be nice, but
genre Dream surfing, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, because that's a good point, right? Like, you imagine you have like this really like emotional like game, and like a really serious game, and then it starts like a shark survival right after.
Like, bro, you just disconnected my feeling. Like, what?
Right.
That is true though. I hope there is a way to like actually not. Actually, I think someone did ask that.
Like to section your.
Yeah, because I don't want to just play different people, you know, like genres. I mean, that's cool in a way, but you know, Netflix is ways where you can do it where you can stick to one genre or something.
Well, it
like
does
that.
it automatically, right?
Yeah,
a lot of times when it starts the next show, it's or at least Hulu does, it keeps something very similar.
Yeah, it's similar. But I guess they could do that. But at the same time, I don't know if you're saying that they should just stick to the creator itself. Is that what you mean? Or
are you talking to me or him? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I would personally say, obviously, I assume there's probably a way to surf someone's stuff, right? Like a playlist of someone's levels.
Right.
I think that's separate. Dream surfing is the whole point of that, is to discover new creators. And I would think the best way to go about that is to maintain genres.
Okay.
Like, or have an option, like a genre dream surf or a completely random.
Yeah, actually that is I remember Alex actually saying that. You said you can. If you want to just look for horrors, you can just have genre.
Dream surf.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Right.
Can you go more like specific with that, like in the dream surfing, like new levels or something? That'd be cool.
Yeah, I hope so. That'd be cool.
What do you mean? You want me to try to explain it? You said, or?
No. I mean, like, it'd be interesting just instead of just like horror genre, like surfing, like those broad things, but like, could you go to like new levels dream surfing, or like
that would
pick dream surfing, or like, you know, whatever else?
Yeah, I hope so. That'd be cool. You know, on your stream right now, I'm looking at it. This is what I was talking about, how like the stuff in the distance gets fuzzy. like it doesn't have the same crispness, those little mountains he placed in the background. So I'm thinking that's probably the automatic derezzing that they're probably applying to save thermometer space. But I gotta go soon, but I just want to talk about one thing because I saw somebody talking in the chat about it. Procedural generation. A lot of people keep asking about that, and a lot of people keep freaking out about it. Like, oh man, he's making a procedurally generated level. I inherently, I don't think that word means much because procedurally generated is just like I'll just give an example of something that would be considered procedurally generated. You tell it, like you know how you can make like random level generators and it just completely makes level on its own. Procedurally generated would be based on an algorithm. So you just make a piece of logic that says only put trees or vegetation next to water. You know what I mean? Only put water into the lowest parts of the level because like that's where water would go.
It's like No Man's Sky.
Yeah, No Man's Sky. That's the only reason I got hyped about it.
Perfect example.
But that would be very easy to do, and I don't think it's a big deal. I don't even think before he even said he's making one, I assumed you could because it's a piece of cake. You just tell it's just a bunch of if statements.
Yeah.
If this is like this, build this next to it. If there's a house here, then
I kind of did that in Little Big Planet as well.
Right. So I even in Little Big Planet, you could have potentially procedurally generated.
Oh, I didn't even know. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I didn't do it to like a crazy extent. I just did it for like a random like level generator, but like it didn't like go crazy. So.
Right. That's the point, is that procedure generate doesn't necessarily mean crazy. It could be basic or it could be complex. So we'll have to see like how complex he's actually making it before.
It's like roguelike games. Most of those are the same. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Now, going also along the lines of how we were talking about with the dream surfing.
Yeah.
Do you think they could implement the whole like assets having kind of like their own taglines?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Like
oh, you mean like genres, like science fiction or fantasy or something like that?
Not like that, but like how the one guy was saying how can you go broader with the selection of horror?
Yeah.
Like saying I want a horror game, but I want one with skeletons in it.
No, I think he was just saying like new horror games or recommended like horror games or picks horror games. He's just saying different
like
kind of
that as well.
categories for.
He's asking if you can dream surf with categories. That's what he's asking.
Right, and those categories like delve deeper because of the assets that you have, having their own taglines. Like I make a skeleton, I give it the tagline of skeleton, and then when you go to Dream Surf,
you probably could though.
Horror game, skeletons, crazy clocks, stuff like that.
I know, I know at LVP too you had tags. Yeah, you had tags where you can connect with like multiplayer horror, and you can go in deeper with like certain items in it. If that's what you're talking about, I don't know if you can go down to like actual characters though, because I don't really see people adding tags to like skeleton or like pumpkin or like I don't really see them adding tags like that.
Well, that's the thing though, because like I feel like if you want to, when you're going through the assets and you want to search for a certain thing, you type in skeleton and then boom, a bunch of assets of skeletons pop up.
Right.
If you can use that naming of the asset as a tagline.
I see what you're saying.
Oh, yeah, I get you. I got it.
Yeah, like you search for levels with only skeletons in them or something.
Yeah.
So if they share that asset alone, right? Because I would assume that if they don't share it, there's no way for you to like actually find that asset.
He's saying like like the same way you would search skeletons and find assets. That means that that you can categorize your assets, right? So you can like say, oh, these are the skeletons that I've made, or these are, so you can categorize them personally. He's asking if there would be a way to search levels based on the categories they've created within their levels. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, just saying. Oh, okay.
Automatically it would detect the categories you've put in there. I don't know if they would do that.
Like how he was saying, like horror, like for me, you can go from a Jason movie to Beetlejuice,
Right.
But if you basically put in there an asset or a taglined asset as there's skeletons in this horror game, you kind of have a broader understanding of what you're getting into.
Right.
And I was just asking if y'all seen anything to where they implemented that, or if you think it's already implemented.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that yet.
I mean, haven't shown much of the dream surfing like categories.
Like YouTube detects the game you're playing without even you wanting it. So like it'll know that you're playing Fortnite, and it'll automatically categorize it as Fortnite, and then it'll be searched as Fortnite, even if you don't tagline it. So that's something. Yeah. So maybe they would do something like that.
I mean, that's like a crazy algorithm thing. The YouTube side of things. I don't know if how Dreams is gonna detect any of that if it has anything like that. Like how will it know that something is a skeleton or like a human or something?
You'd have to. No, it'll be categories. Like for example, when you when you're searching for like skeleton, like you were saying that you'll be able to find assets of skeleton because people categorize it as skeleton. So yeah.
Just being able to use that further instead of searching for an asset, you search for a dream with those assets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds very reasonable.
So you can get an understanding of how people like use their assets, or just interested in the
like
asset
if I want to
itself.
play a horror game, you know, like I said, you know, I don't know what I'm jumping into, but if I put horror games, skeletons, bats, caves, you know, just certain things like that, then I kind of get a broader understanding of what I'm wanting to, you know, see, and the dreams algorithm will try to give me the best thing based off of that.
I got you.
So kind of not like dream surfing, but dream like, this is what's in my head, this is what I want to play, give it to me, and it will try to find it. Because I can think of, you know, tons of reasons to have that. Because when I played Little Big Planet, you would see all these tags on the level, and a lot of them didn't even make sense, you know.
Yeah, those tags were
the
stupid.
level was actually showing.
Yeah, those tags were so dumb.
Yeah. So
I tried to make my tags make sense.
Yeah. But like that shark level might be like, I love sharks, hashtag I love sharks. Like, yeah, you love sharks, but this one's chasing you right now. I don't really feel like I love this shark. And so, I mean, that's the kind of thing like, oh, I hate sharks. Okay, well, this one's going to chase your ass down. And just something of that category, because I feel like if I'm going to play a game, like if I walk into GameStop, I know exactly what I want. And I can look on the back of the cover, I can look it up, and if somebody's just going to put a dream out and they take one screenshot, because I believe that's all you get, it's just one screenshot of what your game looks like or whatever. Like
They
that's
might
all
have
you got to
trying
go
out
off
trailers,
other than tags.
like a Little Big Planet. Hopefully, like you can upload a little trailer of your level. Hopefully, they do something like that.
Yeah, the ones in Little Big Planet though were kind of whack. So you'd have to like go through Share Factory, go through all that jank just to like upload it, and sometimes it might not be correct length.
Well, now you can upload music, so maybe you can upload video like clips to.
Oh God.
No. I don't know if they want to go down that rabbit hole. Who knows?
Because I can imagine somebody just putting like porn or something as like or something. Yeah.
What's wrong with that? That sounds like a great time.
How friendly can't
like, hey mom, look Sonic. Whoa, wait a minute.
Isn't that the right kind of Sonic?
What is Sonic doing right now?
Searching for those rings.
Yeah, hello.
But I feel like they could have.
No, I just joined the chat as well.
Welcome.
Yeah.
What's good?
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah. I was gonna talk about like in terms of like, you know, doing things in and without outside of dreams, like stuff like importing. But I think like just imagine someone could actually do something in dreams and use that as, I don't know, like as a tool to do something for maybe their YouTube channel. Like if they made like say if someone made a show and then they use dreams to like make the animations and put them on YouTube.
Yeah, that's what
I was a lot of people are gonna do that. For like, I'm even gonna make an outro with dreams or intro, and then put it on my YouTube channel.
I was thinking of making like a show or something, just something like inside dreams, and just use that like to put it on like my YouTube channel, and then people just watch it. You know, like I won't actually have to talk about dreams unless they ask where it comes from. You know, I think it could be used for a lot of things actually.
Right.
I mean, you don't have. In fact, you can do it the other way around. You don't have to make music that's like, you know, with the tools inside dreams. You can make music and import that into dreams.
Yeah, you could too. That's what's really dope about that.
Like dreams is a link within itself. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I even like how they implemented the 3D printing.
Yeah,
oh, I forgot about that. Like, bro, you adding too much, bro. We have enough. What are you doing? Like, bro, that's so lit that you could do that, though, bro.
5-10 years.
So they're finally in like feature lockdown.
Right.
That's why I love.
Because if they never went into that, then they're just gonna keep adding stuff.
Yeah, they're too creative. They can't stop themselves.
I like that though.
Yeah.
They just want to add everything.
Imagine if this was like if it was EA, bro. They would have released this thing in 2015. It was like, hey, we done. Let's go ahead and shop. You know what I mean? You want to play the game? You gotta pay for the main menu, everything, bro. Like,
right.
You remember that first video they put up where like it was just a screen and what they were making was in front of them, and they had all different artists, and it was just one pale, like brown, like I don't know what color it was, but they were just all making stuff from this one sculpt.
oh yeah, that was like one of the first videos. Yeah,
that's what EA would have put out.
Yep. This looks good. It's complete.
That's it. $70 game.
Yeah.
They said they started like from scratch like 3 or 4 times, right? That's what they said.
Yeah, they made it a lot. Yeah. I'm glad though. If you look back at how dreams look, man. I mean, I'm not gonna say it look really bad, but compared to how it look now,
compared to that is now,
yeah, it's completely different.
Sure. Who knows what they?
Do you think they started out wanting to make like this like Little Big Planet kind of thing where you could just make anything? Because at the beginning it just looked like it was just like some sort of sculpting, puppeteering thing. But then it turned into like, oh yeah, there's logic now. You can do this, this, and this.
Yeah, they actually talked about. They said they didn't even the vision was what you call it. It was the vision was the same, but at first they were just trying to add like sculpting and just play around with that. But then they realized that they can go ahead and remake it and make it like Little Planet 4 or whatever they were talking about. They were saying this is like the spiritual successor of Little Planet because of all the stuff you could do. And hello?
Yeah. What?
Mike was tripping. But yeah, the vision they said was the same. But when you look at the first videos, it kind of looked like it was just sculpting. It didn't look anything like how it did now. But maybe that was just like
the animations of the characters, how bad they were. Like they would sway. It was like puppeteered. Yeah, it was so bad.
Like I believe the
fact that it
first
still
one
got hyped was crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So imagine now, bro.
Right. I'm excited.
Like the first one I seen was the polar bear scene.
Yeah.
And
right.
Like I can remember laying in bed because I put that in the chat. I'm like, I remember laying in bed and No Man's Sky came on, and this is back in 2013.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, this is awesome. I'm so like blown away. And then boom, like I'm getting ready for work, and then Dreams came on. I'm like, no, like whoa, what is this? Like, and then it's just carry over year after year after year.
All right.
I feel bad, bro, because I didn't really care about it until 2018, bro. So
well, when they said just like you said, when they said the makers of Little Big Planet, or they said Media Molecule, that's what we were like.
Yeah, that's where it's like, boom, bro. That's it. That's all you gotta do, man.
Right.
I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, I remember seeing it on like Dreams on the Game Informer, like made by Media Molecule.
Yeah, shout out to Game Informer, bro. They finally. Those people know they know what Dreams is, and they market it way better than Sony did. No offense to Sony,
but I'm talking about way back in like the E3 was announced or something. Like I'm like, oh, it's like a 3D Little Big Planet. This looks really cool. And then I forgot about it until like last year.
Yeah, they kind of just hit it though. They didn't really talk about it, and Sony didn't even. I don't want to just keep bringing up Sony, but I can understand why.
I mean, and I think to Sony's credit, you know, it's kind of hard to do this because it's like, how do you like platform this to everyone? Like,
it's simple, dude. Make a game that looks like Fortnite. That's all you gotta do. I'm telling you, bro.
Fortnite dances.
Made in Dreams.
Exactly.
You can really do a lot.
That's it.
That's
all you gotta do.
Yeah, I agree.
They partner up with Fortnite and get like $1 million for you.
Right. Or since they have licensing with like, I'm sure they could make God of War, remake God of War, like what the Game Informer was saying. Any PlayStation title, they could remake it as close as they can. It will get hyped like you can't imagine.
Did you say it was made by?
They made God of War looking like
that's it. That's it.
Even if they made like other games like that look kind of like I don't know if y'all have seen Final Fantasy 15 on the mobile.
No,
I haven't seen it.
It's cartoony as hell, but it still keeps that, you know, same character, you know?
Right.
Like same look and everything. It's just it's more of I don't even know the word for it, but it's just more cartoony and
associated probably
kid friendly. And I could see, you know, God of War where Kratos is like a little plushy looking character, and but he's badass, you know.
It'd be a cute version of it.
Yeah.
The subject of Sony, they're actually, I noticed they've been really patient. I mean, if I were Sony, I'd be like, Alex, this game was supposed to ship out years ago.
Right,
Because they trust Media Molecule. They're one of their good.
They have like a flawless track record, right? They haven't had any negative feedback ever.
Yeah. Right.
Amazing.
When have Media Molecule made a bad game? Like when?
Right. I never played Tearaway, but I heard.
I never played it, but I heard it was really good. The reviews and everything was amazing. So they have a PS.
I played a bit of Tearaway.
Okay.
I played a little bit on the PlayStation, but I haven't actually like gone through it. But you know, from what I've played, it's like really fun. I've seen the reviews and everything. They haven't made a game before Little Planet, have they?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Ragdoll Kung Fu is cool.
Tearaway and Dreams is all they've made, and that's a really good track record.
Right.
Wait, Black Belt? I thought they didn't make that.
Some of their members did. Or something?
Maybe it was one of the workers that.
Yeah, because I think they actually answered the question of someone asking if they made that. It's like everyone keeps thinking we made that, but we didn't.
I remember Ragdoll Kung Fu. That was fun.
Right.
Cute little game.
We also don't know. We also don't know how much Sony is giving them crap. They could be on their ass like every year. Like when is this coming? They just wouldn't publicly show it, you know. So but we can assume that at least they didn't disband their company as a good sign, right?
I mean, if they did,
that would be dumb.
I know.
Yeah.
Also, they're not crunching, so it doesn't seem like there any much pressure from Sony. So
that's true. That is true.
They don't crunch a Media Molecule.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look like a really laid back group of people.
Right.
Like especially on their streams, like
you
know, like nothing.
Just chilling, like Brad.
Yeah.
People just having fun.
You know, I've never seen 7 people on one couch before, but they pulled it off. And
I used to message Steve Big Guns back in the day on like Little Big Planet 1 because we were both making things. And then like now I'm seeing him work for them, and I'm just like, I should have made levels harder, man. Like,
missed opportunity.
I know.
Kristoff is probably my favorite though. That dude is.
Dreams is your chance.
He made every game he made is my favorite. Like the Cat Pirate, the Little Planet, the space shooter.
Kristoff's great.
Right.
Like, all that was all made by him. I'm like, bro, you're insane.
Yeah, he's good.
I'm just thinking he'll make the best games out of different genres, like shooters and sports and stuff. Like he will kind of make the big titles, and he will make cash cows every year and fail.
True.
Yeah.
True.
I swear, if someone makes a game, like you know, you can make maps within maps. If someone makes a game where you can earn, like, where you get money, and you have to pay for add-ons within the, that'll be so funny.
That should be lit. Actually, that's a good idea. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Wait, you could charge.
Oh my gosh! I just bought this game for 60, and now I gotta get more money just to get this add-on, which is taking out the game.
Oh man, why didn't I think of that?
One where there was this gate you could jump over. I'm not sure what it was. You could play the. Someone did that.
You could do in-game microtransactions. That's how you make money.
Microtransactions. Exactly.
Doesn't get any more meta than that.
I didn't even think of that. That's genius.
AE. I like that.
AE.
Someone make AE.
Oh my god, it's over. You shouldn't have given me that idea.
And there we go, guys. That was a quick.
So remake Fortnite onto Dreams, and then make a season pass where you give people skins.
Boy, like the bad idea.
Make a fan skin.
Yeah. Jesus, that's genius.
That's so funny.
First thing I'm gonna do.
You could really do that though. You could have like a level that people just keep coming back to, and they have to like earn battle stars or something stupid.
Oh yeah.
Donate to my Patreon. I'll give you free stuff or something.
Well, that
actually could work though.
That is kind of cool though.
Free V-Bucks.
VIP areas.
I have a feeling I have the 10 years someone's gonna have someone's gonna even attempt to make the internet as big as they possibly could.
They did that.
They're gonna remake the internet.
That is so hard.
You are high, my friend. What have you been smoking today?
About half the lifespan which they hope Dreams would be. It's about 5 years just to make all these search stuff and just make all this fake answers and everything, and just call it internet and just
You are on something, bro. What are you on?
You have to get the game day one and work on it for 5 years straight.
What about you
make? Is right, kind of crazy.
You make dreams within dreams. Inception. Call the level Inception.
You just have to be mad.
What if you make, like, you know, you're looking on your stream right now, how they have the menu, like the browser remix menu. What if you remake that to a T? People won't even know if they're in your level or in the actual search.
That would be a good try.
People just keep backing out, not knowing if they're still in a dream.
You know, someone actually made sort of a dreams-looking game in Little Big Planet 3. So I'm thinking, hold on, if we can make Little Big Planet in dreams, does that mean we can make Little Big Planet in dreams and then make dreams Little Big Planet?
I saw that coming.
I don't think that's how it works.
You guys are going too crazy.
And to go back to your whole making a menu exactly the same way.
Yeah.
Make it the same way, and then when they want to back out, like, just take them to another menu that says, "Oh, network failure," and then they put circle again. That takes them to another level up. Sorry, the stream is down. You know.
And then it's like, are you really falling for this?
No, and then at the end you say, "Please donate
real
to
life
this
and
PayPal
dreams.
link if you want to unlock dreams."
Honey, get my credit card. Like,
right. Or just make a blue screen of death and they'll freak out.
All right.
This chat has gone off the rails.
You know what? Someone needs to make like a game where the menu is just some normal kid. And it's like you walk into his room and you see a PlayStation 2, and you have to put the controller port inside the console, turn it on by putting the power on. You see the intro come up, and then go straight to some like random game. Because it's been like PS2, so someone will find some obscure game, or even the popular one, and try and recreate it and put it inside the TV.
I'm sure.
I don't even know where this is going.
That'll be way
Yeah. All right. You need to slow down a little bit. Hit the brakes.
It's fine because you can make it to some sort of like kind of can, kind of can't at the same time. I don't know. Like we got Spy remake. It's like the possibilities are so like I can't say so endless because there isn't a small endless, is there? Like, but it's just so massive. You can just think of anything you want to make, and you can make it to some extent. Even if it can't be fully fledged, like full on game. Inside a game. I don't know. It's
That is the selling point, I suppose.
You can't make a game inside a game inside a game. You're playing a game, you get to make your own game. But is it really a game if they're giving you all these tools to make stuff? Like, if the actual campaign itself is made within the game, not
game engine in disguise.
Yeah. Game engine in the
Basically, all it is just the engine.
Logic in disguise.
Like,
all right, guys.
Sony, they figured it out.
That's my cue to leave. This is getting too crazy. This is going way off the rails, and it's ruining my reputation. So no, but seriously, I gotta go.
All right,
Genesis, nice meeting you, bro. Well, hopefully you'll do this again. I think it was cool.
Yeah, it was
we'll
dope.
get more information. Thank you, everybody. See you guys later.
See you.
See you.
Bye, I love you.
Subject to Transformers. Someone should make a working Optimus Prime in dreams.
Oh.
I can actually see that happening though. That's,
Instead of calling it Optimus Prime because that's copyright, you're gonna
you
call
have
it
to call it
Optimus.
obviously not Prime. You know, like.
You know those crappy mobile games?
Slow motion, lots of explosions, and some guy falling out of the car, and then you catch him at the right time.
Like, you know how some crappy mobile games work around this to use
just falling out of the big.
What is going on here? Hold on. Like, let him speak.
Colin's mic is so low.
You know those mobile games where it's like obviously Spider-Man, but they call it like Ant Guy.
Ant Guy. Go ahead and switch up the names.
And, I'm sure that you could do that in dreams too. Just like modify it barely so it's not exactly.
Build forts at night.
Oh yeah, I know people are gonna do that 100%. Like there's nothing they can do. Like instead of spider webs to be like noodles or something, you know? Like,
Instead of Optimus Prime, it's truck robot.
It's not Spider-Man. It's a man with rope.
I mean,
Man with a rope.
Oh man. I can see Marvel getting upset. It's like, bro, this is clearly our idea, man. They think they slick.
No, no. It's man with rope.
That's Ant Guy.
It's Ant Guy with rope.
This isn't Transformers. This is a truck robot.
Truck robot.
Get it right.
Instead of Bumblebee, it's Yellow
Truck
Jacket.
robot with rope.
I guarantee you, there is probably a Transformer called Yellow Jacket.
Wait, instead of Ratchet, it's Spanner.
All right, let's see. If you guys have any questions, you guys can go ahead and ask. Try to get answered.
Actually, I'm kind of curious what like the first thing people are gonna do when the beta first comes out.
First thing I'm gonna do is
I'm just gonna
make a hoverboard. Yes, sir.
I'm just gonna mess with the creative thing. Just create some blocks and just mess with them. I don't know. See what I can do.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. Just play around.
To mess with the music making stuff.
Or you're gonna be stuck in there for days, for weeks, just playing around with that. Oh man.
Probably get a month-long beta, so we'll have some time, I guess.
Yeah. Hopefully.
I mean, if I really had to put it down to one thing that I would make, like, and that's the thing, like, are they giving us, like, that's what I'm worried about is what are they giving us? Like, especially worried me when they said the whole Kareem thing with him making a world that we can play in.
No, we getting everything. We're getting everything. What they were saying.
Oh, you think it's like we're just gonna get that world?
Nah, see what they were saying is
we create within that.
What they were saying is that they're making a world for people to remix and play with in Dreams and Dreamiverse. But we're not gonna be restricted. We're gonna have all the tools.
I wonder
we're not
like,
gonna have all the
that?
creations though because they have a fresh server.
I think we're gonna
generally
have maybe
have
a demo for the
all
mode,
the
not the full story mode, but maybe like a couple.
It's for testing purposes. You gotta test them all.
So what'd you say about the demo thing?
I think that for the beta, we're obviously not gonna get the entire campaign.
Oh
we
yeah,
might
no.
get, like little pieces of the game.
I don't think we're gonna get any.
Except that we've already seen.
Yeah, we probably won't get any to be honest. Maybe a few,
Actually,
maybe a few of the
like
ones
a
that
level.
was at E3 or something like that to play around, but not anything like. Other than that, I don't really see it. And if they don't add anything, I wouldn't even be surprised. I'd be like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think they would put anything out because they said that they were giving us a clean server. And I think the only thing that would be on that would be Kareem's level, like you would think, because they're making the whole stream about it.
Yeah, there's definitely more stuff. Someone asked that on Twitter saying, when you mean fresh server, do you mean it's gonna be like just completely clean? They said it is a clean server, but they are transferring things. So it seemed like there's just too much stuff to transfer over by the time the beta drops. So there's just like we're gonna have some stuff, but not all of it.
Right, some assets that they've made.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it'd be cool to like, make a cool level in the beta, and then when the full game comes out, you can make this because it'll all transfer through, and then you can just add like VR support or something if you have the VR.
Oh, you're right.
I believe VR. Don't you have to start that from scratch?
Do you? You can't just like switch over to VR in mid-level.
I have no clue about that. They haven't. They literally haven't released any details with VR whatsoever.
I imagine it's just like a switch in the settings of like the level or something, global settings or whatever. That it's just like, oh, is this a VR?
Like some games that you can play with or without.
I also don't know how you could like make a VR level. Like, how do you set up the camera and like all that junk? I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
Yeah, you have to see
stuff in place.
Too much stuff.
Because even down to like the hands being in a general direction, like I don't know, are we gonna have like controllers that you put in the arm of your puppet and boom, there you go? Like I don't know.
Imagine making like a VR thing and you have like your controller as like a sword or something.
Or like a move
like
stick or something. That would be lit.
Yeah.
Like I can see.
That's what I wanted to make, but I don't have PS4 VR, so I can't do that.
I think it'd be cool for the VR if they had like a move controller,
could make like
except the ball is an imp. I don't know.
It's like Beat Saber. I mean, Rhythm Slicer.
Rhythms. Yeah, you could probably make some sort of Beat Saber thing, or like I want to make a rhythm level. Rhythm levels are so cool.
Oh yeah, that was that.
Rhythm games.
It was like you have the VR thing, but like you're hitting those colored blocks. It's not like colored blocks, Yeah, Beat Saber. Didn't PewDiePie play that on his channel at some point?
A lot of people have played it. It's popular.
Yeah, not for long ago. Yeah, but I only subscribed to like PewDiePie, and like that's the only time I saw it. But it was really funny because he actually import like music and stuff in it. Like it was really interesting looking. I hope someone can make that. I hope it's possible at least.
The PSVR, you have 15 songs or something, and then in order to get more, they're gonna have paid DLC.
Happens.
Yeah.
What up, Kayed?
And that's what I like about with Dreams too, is that we're gonna be able to put all that stuff. If you did make a level such as that, I mean, I wouldn't see any reason why you wouldn't be able to put a playlist, you know, using Logic, and I don't know, like that's what I guess you can kind of glue it to the music creator. I mean, to match the beats, but
oh, that'd be pretty cool.
Even that, I mean, I could see that being a lot of Logic too. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess we would have to see.
Yeah, there've been like rhythm games in Little Big Planet in the past. It's not that like unthinkable.
Yeah. What's your favorite? Like, what's the one thing you guys can't wait to do? Like, the first thing you really just want to try it or get into or see? Say.
The Puppeteer.
Puppeteer. That's exactly what I was gonna say, bro. I cannot wait for the characters that people are gonna make. Like, I think that's just gonna be absolutely insane. Because I know in Little Planet, people made a lot of characters, but you can't do anything different. It's just like, it just looked dope, but you couldn't do anything. But in Dreams, you can actually have certain attacks, certain, you know, voices on the characters and everything. Like, I can't wait for that. That's gonna be crazy.
The puppeteering is just really intuitive. Like, it looks like they're moving with like emotion. Some of them.
Yep.
Some of the puppets.
Yeah, and I think that all goes down to the because I think you have to actually stop motion. And I was talking about this the other night in the chat, and I believe the stop motion, it's not like more clanky like how you have stop motion to where you know you have to do it frame by frame by frame. I think it's more of a fluid motion to where you have it right here and then you move it, you know, and also you can record as you're moving your puppet.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's just you're moving an arm at this point, you don't have to move the whole body, but you have to go back, record again, and then do all these other motions with other extremities. But mainly what I'm wanting to know about is how in depth can we get with the mouth? Because in the stream where he was playing as what's the dragon's name again?
Lancewing?
Yeah.
Oh, Lancewing. Yeah, he was playing as Lancewing, and he was coming out of the cave, and he did the whole yawning thing, and you know the like with his mouth, and you've seen that all in the character, but it's kind of like how South Park does with the Canadians, like they just crop it up and down, crop it up and down.
Yeah, I think the mouth isn't like too like in depth, but I'm pretty sure you can just like make it in depth if you wanted to. If you really wanted to try and do
like
that.
The Fox characters when they were talking and the mouth were moving. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh no, I haven't.
Yeah, in the story mode, the characters actually talk. You can see their mouth moving.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I would like the mouth movement, but how in depth? Like, because our mouths, you know, we move like way differently.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. You're trying to make it like very
just like
natural.
set poses for like the sounds of the mouth, like A E I O U. So you can just like make it.
With a sequencer.
Yeah.
That'll be a little challenging. But like the whole game is based on pretty much making your own like quote-unquote assets.
Right.
Like I don't think they like giving us all the tools and stuff to do everything. But it's like how in the planet, like people are trying to figure out how to make like 2D sprites and all that. It's a bit like that, but it's a lot easier and it's a lot more like simple. But I still think all this stuff that we're like, can we do this or let us? I think we have to kind of figure that out ourselves. We have to try and like find out ways and tricks to do it.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that the tools will kind of implement it. I mean, not really themselves, but to where I can. Because I think you have to put, like the gadget, I forgot what it was called. But anyway, you put it on the sides and you connect it, and that's why it moves up and down.
A bolt?
Yeah, the bolt. Now, could we somehow, like, kind of like brackets, like from this side of the mouth to this point on, kind of how
you could do frame by frame.
Yeah, frame right frame. I mean, I could see that being the easiest, but can I move just this point on my character's mouth this way, and then kind of like with clay, or do I have to completely, sculpt it down and then sculpt it
I
back?
remember on the Halloween one, they were doing this gargoyle, and then he
yeah.
literally just grabbed the point of the tail and started moving it around. The rest of it moved accordingly. So I think you can.
Oh yeah, that was like one of the new tools they added, and it was like I don't remember what it was called.
I think it was like spline tool or something.
Yeah, they always adding new tools, so if it's not there now, I probably will add it if more people keep asking about it.
Yeah, I hope they do something like that.
I think the thing with the mouth, or something you probably could do, is have like just a separate sculpt, and have it like look like a mouth, and then move it to how you want it to, and then attach that to the character mouth or face. You know,
kind of did that in Little Big Planet, or you kind of just like animated with actual like objects with using like opacity tweakers or some stupid thing.
Right.
And it worked kind of. So.
I'm just gonna cheat and use text boxes so I don't have to worry about it.
Character cannot talk, he's mute.
I'm just glad that I think we'll have like the like in the Big Planet you had these like slight animation things. You didn't make it, but you chose them. You just picked them out. You guys remember?
Oh yeah,
yeah. I didn't like it. Like you could make like samples and stuff and make the animations, but even just trying to customize the character to make it, I don't know, bigger or something. I struggled to make Sapbots playable because I wanted to make like a giant character, but I just think that game was a bit too complicated. No, actually, I don't mean like the game itself, but kind of what you wanted to do in it. I think people like too ambitious for like the game itself in terms of the tools and things you want to do. So I think Media Molecule was kind of taking note of that in terms of like what Dreams is. Instead of it being like a game that you get to do whatever you want in it. It's like it's about being able to make anything you want, and that's the game. Like we are making our own games, making levels.
Well, yeah, that's like, I don't know if you were in the chat earlier when I spoke about it, but I was speaking about how I just went through surgery, and that's the first time I've ever gone through it, and just that experience alone, implementing that into a game to where people can experience it if they were to go into surgery soon, or to make a video explaining it more in depth from a actual first person's perspective. I mean, I feel like,
oh yeah,
and that's,
yeah, I wasn't there when you were talking about that. Yeah.
And I don't know, I mean, I don't feel like the ambitions of Media Molecule is outweighing our own, because I think they're giving us every ambition that we can possibly think of, and just by giving us the tools. But no, I feel like this community is really, really like to a point of next level, to where you got your songwriters who come out with hit songs, but I can find 10 people who sing them better. And that's kind of how Media Molecule is going, is that they're not the best. Like they are, giving us tools because they know that there are better people out there, and you can see that by them hiring those people alone. So I don't know. I don't think they're ambitious about the game, to a point to where it's too much for us. But I think they hit the nail right on the head, because it's just an engine. Like I can't jump in the Unreal Engine and make you a game in 10 minutes, but I can do it in Dreams, and that's the difference.
Yeah, that's why I really like Dreams. It's like it's pretty much like baby steps. Well, not baby steps, but it's like when it's easy to learn about how to master. That's kind of what this game like Dreams is like.
Mm-hmm.
Like with people like stuff like Unity and everything, like you can't just go in there and just whip out a game, which is what I'm happy about Dreams being able to do, because there's so many like kids out there, like younger ones, who's like, oh, I wish I could do this, and I wish I can make that. Just imagine like someone making their favorite toy in Dreams and then being able to play as it. Just like you can kind of implement things in real life and put it in Dreams.
Yeah.
Alright. Look at me streaming. Let's see. Ain't 2 hours. I'm probably gonna end the stream here. Yeah, this was really fun though. I really enjoyed talking with you guys and whatnot. Hopefully we can do this again maybe Thursday, because I know there's gonna be a stream tomorrow, so I'll probably make a video on that. But yeah, this is lit, man. Catch you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and chatting as well.
Okay.